We are live, A2HH live. What's up, Coop, man? How you doing, brother?
What up, brother? Happy Friday to you. Peace and blessings. What up?
Happy Friday to you as well. We're welcoming everybody into the room. I know we'll give people a minute to get in. I would start with the whole Kendrick didn't drop any new music thing, but we'll wait until people get in. I know that there was a rumor out. I guess we can call it a rumor now because it wasn't true. There was a rumor that Kendrick was dropping some new music. Terminator, once again, the first one in. Shout out to Terminator. Says,
Terminator
yeah.
in the house. What
Terminator
up?
2. I'm sorry. I can't just call you Terminator. Terminator
No.
2. He said I'm
Hey,
the first. Yes, we got more and more coming in the room.
hey, you want to know why he calls himself Terminator 2? Because part 2 is the one. Part 2 is the Terminator movie,
You
right?
know, that never really happens. You know what I'm saying? Like the sequel being the best.
Yeah. It's one of the rare occasions where the sequel is like clearly better than its predecessor, and predecessor is pretty damn good.
All right. So there's a lot to talk about. You went on an epic rant about Kendrick Lamar not putting out any music. You went on an epic rant about 3000 Super Bowl commercial, but I think what's more relevant right now is the Kendrick thing. We're gonna get into that, but first I want to start off with the new music that came out today. We did finally listen to the Saba album. We're gonna talk about that. Actually, you want to start with Saba?
Yeah, we can start there.
Okay. What were your thoughts?
I felt like I was hearing the next shit.
Yeah.
And I haven't felt that way. Like I haven't felt that way about something in a minute. Where I was like, this feels like it's next. Not even now. It feels next in a great way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was in the car laughing to myself. I was like, man, like tell everybody my age that the kids are all right. You know, like in hip hop, like the kids are all right, man.
Yeah, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's good to hear something fresh,
Yeah.
new, and it doesn't sound like man, everybody has their own lane now. That's what I love. I love the place that hip hop's in now. I know one of the comments I kept reading in that Kendrick Lamar post from the other day was people had issue with the fact that you were saying that Kendrick did it in a weak era, and it's like if we look at the albums that came out in those eras, or the times that Kendrick came out, which would be what 2012, 15, and 17, or was
Mhm.
that 13? I'm tripping. Either one of the two. But yeah, I mean, you just look at the pool
The
of
music's just
albums that came out, people hadn't found their identities yet. And other people were saying that there hasn't been an album as good as Damn since Damn was released. I beg to differ.
first of all, that's not true.
That's not true.
Second of all, everything that we're saying is spot on. The era that he's been dominant in has been weak. We can go look at the music. We can just go look at the music, Mike. In the time that we've been doing this podcast, which will be 2 years next month, we've seen better albums come out in this 2 year span than his whole run.
No, that's real.
And that's just the fact of the matter.
That's
I'm not
real.
saying it. I'm not saying it in some sort of slightest fashion or to lessen his reign. I'm going to say this again. In the Book of Kings, in the Bible, Mike, there's good kings and there's bad kings, and a lot of your kingdom has to do with the time when you reign.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Because at this point, you would somewhat be, let's just keep it real. If he was coming out around this time, he would be pretty much forced to collaborate with the pool of people who are doing their thing right now and that are in full stride. And I don't think that would be as dominant as it looked a couple years ago.
Here's what I will give him, and it's something that I noticed with the Saba album because it was my one critique of the Saba album.
Mm-hmm.
A little feature heavy again.
A little feature heavy.
I mean, it's great features. The features do a good job of blending, and most of it sounds organic. But also one of those things. Most of your great MCs, at least the ones that are all-time great, are proven on that solo mission, where it's like where you hear them take flight really by themselves. And so Kendrick is one of those people that did that successfully, because that's what Good Kid, Mad City is. It's him taking flight successfully by himself. I mean, how many verses are on there? We got a Dre verse, a J Rock verse, and a Drake verse.
Yeah, you're gonna like this comment. Jack777 says, but who's dropped a better album than To Pimp a Butterfly since 2015?
Here we go with this over.
Go ahead. Talk about To Pimp a Butterfly, and is it that superior that in 7 years no one has dropped an album in hip
Okay.
hop better than To Pimp a Butterfly?
Okay, so here's what I mean. Like when you're saying better than To Pimp a Butterfly, like on what level are you talking? Are you talking about on the level that it was put together? Because on the level that it was put together, I think the album that's most comparable to it is Pray for Paris. Since then, if we're talking about how beautiful something is that's been put together, okay? Do I think Pray for Paris is a better album than To Pimp a Butterfly? No, I do not. Which album am I going to play? Which album are people going to play? And which album has more replay value? All of those things belong to Pray for Paris. And so, like, Kendrick made a very, very special thing with To Pimp a Butterfly because the integrity of the project and the bones of the project are better than the project. Like, the artistic integrity of the project is better than the music itself because he paints a picture so clearly of what he's doing and where he's going. But the replay value is just not there, Mike. It's just not. And you can say what you want about how great it is. The greatest albums of all time have inherent replay value to them. So we need to be careful about like grandiose in this album and in some stratosphere that it really doesn't belong in as a classic. Is it a classic? Yes. Masterful piece of work, of course. Wonderfully and beautifully put together. About as well as you can put an album together outside of Aquemini or It Takes a Nation of Millions or The Chronic 2001. Like, it's up there in terms of how it's put together. But the music, Mike, the music ain't like that. Like I said, y'all ain't running around playing To Pimp a Butterfly when we getting off into his catalog. You are playing the stuff on Damn and on Good Kid, Mad City. You are playing Backseat Freestyle. You know when Backseat Freestyle come on, you still play it. You know when some of that stuff on The Pimp a Butterfly come on, you be like, great record, not the day, next.
You know, it's interesting, man, and I'm a big proponent of To Pimp a Butterfly. You know that. Anybody who's watched the show knows that. When I first heard To Pimp a Butterfly, I listened to it before. I went and listened to it with a fresh set of ears, right? I didn't go on social media. I didn't see what anybody had said about it. And on my first listen, I was like, this is the best hip-hop album I've heard since Supreme Clientele. That was my first listen, right? And again, I sit back and I think I get real nerdy about listening to Pimp a Butterfly, to Pimp a Butterfly. And I'm listening to it from a creator standpoint almost. Right? I'm listening to it as, I guess, as the former artist I used to be, right? That never goes away. But just how he was able to put together this piece, how well it comes together, musically where it's at, lyrically where he's at, his versatility on there. One of the knocks on, and you know what? One of the knocks I have on it is King Kunta. I think that was not a strong single, and it's not even a strong song on the album. And I think one of the brilliant moments for To Pimp a Butterfly is them using the live version of I. That was a game changer. That is much better than the actual recorded version. Similar to Common the Food would be, right? But you brought up something while we've been doing this show, and I hold To Pimp a Butterfly super high. Its replay value is minuscule. Of all the great albums that I've ever heard and that I hold it to a level of, like on a craftsmanship level, I don't listen to it as much as I do those others. And when you sit back and think about it, Kendrick doesn't even hold this album high. He sat there with Big Boy out in L.A., and he had To Pimp a Butterfly ranked third in his catalog, I think it was. That was disappointing for me. I'm like, okay, well, does he feel that way as an artist, or is he listening to the people? Either way, it's an indictment on that album and its level of greatness as well. You know what I'm saying? If he's feeling the love, how certain people like us might feel about To Pimp a Butterfly, he doesn't rank it number 3. He's ranking that number 3 off of some of the stuff that you're saying that the people aren't playing it.
So there's a few things that I want to unpack about what you said. The first thing that you said that struck a chord with me was when you spoke to the artist in you and how you looked at it. Well, that's who this album really resonated with, because I remember when this album came out, all my artsy friends, Mike, no matter what medium they were operating in or what genre, so to speak. I'm talking about my artist friends, musical artists, actual musicians, vocalists, painters, sketchers, graffiti artists, skate. Oh, everybody that I knew in those circles. Oh, they think that album is so masterful and yeah. So it's great for that crowd and that circle when you want to riff off into those things and the nuances and nerdy parts of rap and what he's so great at. But on a fundamental level, it's just not as great and enjoyable to listen to as the albums that he probably have ahead of it in this order, which is Good Kid, Mad City, and Damn, and then To Pimp a Butterfly. Because at the end of the day, Kendrick knows it's about the music. Like, Mike, I love how much does $1 cost?
Yeah.
I think it's one of the most beautiful hip hop records that I've ever heard. I almost never play it. And there's plenty of times when it comes on and I skip it because I'm just not in the mood. Even though I know how brilliant it is, I know what the story is about, I know where he's going, I know how in awe I was the first time I heard it. Replay value is just not as strong as it should be. It doesn't hit you the way that it does. Like that how about that? That story on a writer's level is comparable to Stan or I Gave You Power, but the replay value is not there.
You know, and it's very puzzling to me, and I'm still trying to figure it out. Shout out to Ronve out there, man. Ronve told me something. I think this might have been sometime last year or whatever, but he actually has done a hip hop musical and has produced it, written it with his co-writing partner. Mm-hmm. And I saw the play. I saw a demo of it. It was incredible. But anyway, he said, you know, To Pimp a Butterfly is like a stage play, like theater. It literally is. And then when I listen to it from that standpoint, I'm like, okay, well, this opens up a whole nother door where I have to listen to this album kind of differently, right? But still, when you look at things from a theatrical standpoint, everything comes together. And so individual songs, they might not be as strong on their own, but they're strong in the piece, if that makes any sense.
You know, I'm actually going to quote somebody who is not going to be surprised who I'm quoting, but you want to know what my thoughts was on To Pimp a Butterfly, actually, Mike? It's actually a quote that Nas has on Success. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm trying to run that through my head. That's my least favorite collaboration of theirs, other than the DJ Khaled one.
Goes Ghetto Othello, Sugar Hill Romello, Camaro driven. I climaxed off paper, then asked why is life worth living? Is it the hunt for the shit that you want? To receive's great, but I lust giving. That's Kendrick's mentality on To Pimp a Butterfly. Great mentality, not great repay value.
Yeah, it's probably the best hip hop album that I don't play. I hate to say it like that.
The greatest rap album ever made with the least replay value, Mike. All the albums that it should get compared to, that's what I mean. It's like, are you talking about like a piece of art or a work of art? Oh, yeah. But if you're talking about like on some just rap, like what tracks is like hitting, like, no, it's not.
But you know what? I think it's an incredible follow-up to Good Kid, Mad City. Because you can't say it's a flop. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just can't look at it in that way. And I think if you wanna follow up something with so much fanfare and so much hype as a Good Kid, Mad City, this is the way to do it.
Yeah, no. He did the right thing because what he didn't do was try to create something in the vein of Good Kid, Mad City because he knew how that resonated with people in the culture. So he did veer off properly. I'm just saying the music just like I think Element and Feel off Damn is just better to hear on a replay consistent basis than everything on To Pimp a Butterfly. Just those two records.
You know, Damn, it sounded like he really found himself on there.
Yeah. That's another thing why it's disappointing why we haven't heard from him so long. Because MC wise, Mike, he was at his zenith actually on Damn as an MC.
Yeah, he was able to do a lot of things. And again, he had his own sound where it was like, I could tell on To Pimp a Butterfly there were certain things that he was trying to do, right? Mm-hmm. But he sounded the most comfortable on Damn. And when I listen to Good Kid, Mad City now, he doesn't sound comfortable all the time on there, right? Like, it sounds like I made some of these for the radio. I had to make some of these for this. But Damn just sounds very fluid for him, all the way down to Loyalty. Love is probably one of my favorite records on there. And he just sounds comfortable through and through on that album.
You don't think he sounds comfortable on Good Kid, Mad City?
Not all the way through. Are you talking like technically as an MC? Is that what you're talking about? I don't think he wanted to make poetic justice. I don't feel like he wanted, you know what I mean? Like as an artist, it's like
I think,
certain.
I think, how about this? I think it is the making of songs like Swimming Pools and Poetic Justice that led to the thought process of wanting to make To Pimp a Butterfly. So those records are necessary.
Yeah, no, they are.
Yeah.
Um,
And he's comfortable on those records. You don't think he's comfortable?
he is, but I could tell with. I
I
mean,
mean,
he is to a degree. I could tell damn on the records that he wanted to make.
right. There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Like there are records on Good Kid, Mad City. He's trying to make records for people to get to where he desired to be on Good Kid, Mad City, but that's part of the beauty of it. He's ambitious and he's pulling it off.
Yeah, I mean, I could say the same thing about To Pimp a Butterfly, but I think on a technical level, To Pimp a Butterfly is definitely next level to me in relation to the other projects. I remember, and this is after Damn came out. It's probably like right around the time Damn came out. I was listening to Abstract Radio, and they played These Walls, and that was just confirmation for me that like musically, To Pimp a Butterfly is on a whole nother level.
Can I tell you something? I never loved These Walls
Really?
like that. I mean, this is what I mean about it. It's like, so it's like, the script reads like beautiful literature, but in this spectrum, you have to entertain. And so on a stage play level, that's what I mean. It's just like, oh, well, it's kind of like Macbeth. It's like it's got a lot of highlights to it, but if you've actually seen the play from beginning to end, that shit kind of boring. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think it's the best album he's ever made.
And you can, and I want to speak to something real quick. You can be lyrically dense and be entertaining. See Follow the Leader. See Liquid Swords. See Illmatic. It can be done. So he did not pull that off. And that's why I don't hold it as high.
Well, yeah, and again, I guess I'm viewing it from a different lens, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, but I see what you're saying, and obviously the proof's in the pudding because the artist himself ranked this as third. And I doubt he did that because, of how he feels about it. I truly believe, I mean, I have no way of knowing this, but I truly believe that after Kendrick Lamar recorded To Pimp a Butterfly, he truly believed that that was the best piece of work he ever made. As he should.
No, I don't, and I don't dispute that sentiment.
But see the reaction from the people. Those are things that you can't quantify until it's actually out there. So you can sit there and listen to that in your headphones forever and forever, but until you get that out to the people and you see how the people receive it, and I think that the way the people received it or lack thereof to Pimp a Butterfly on a massive level in relation to Damn and Good Kid, Mad City, it affects how he views To Pimp a Butterfly himself.
Well, that goes back to the entertainment value. How about this? If it's not better than, it needs to be entertaining enough to put the project that came out before it on the shelf for a little bit longer than it did. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I listened to Pimp a Butterfly, Mike, for about a month, and then I found myself wanting to hear Good Kid, Mad City again if I wanted to hear Kendrick. That means that album wasn't all-time great like people say. And I'll go to albums from some artists that we have argued about frequently on here. Well, It Was Written in Volume 1 are dope enough, and the MCs are there are dope enough to make you put their previous project up for a while, even though those projects are better and it's clear in your mind. They're still dope enough on the next project that you're like, no, we can shelf that for a minute. This guy going crazy on here. You hear what this guy's saying? That's not going on To Pimp a Butterfly. It's not going on at all.
It did for me. I mean, To Pimp a Butterfly made me put Good Kid, Mad City down.
How long? For how long?
I mean, listen, I think that it made me put it down longer than It Was Written made me put down Illmatic.
See, that's the thing, though, and I don't think you're big on Good Kid, Mad City like I am, though. Like those records, yeah, like I love Master Splinter, Shireen's Daughter, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, Real, Money Trees, like Backseat Freestyle Mike. I just named like 3 or 4 of his best 10 records, in my opinion.
I think I might. I mean, with Kendrick, I kind of just go with records because he's one of the guys that if I play one song, I probably have to play the whole album. Good Kid, Mad City is kind of like the only one in his catalog that's not like that, where I could play individual songs. But if I play something from Section 80, I probably end up listening to the whole thing.
But that's why Good Kid, Mad City is special, Mike, because it's like he's putting a story together, but when you section off the stories, they still sound beautiful by themselves. That's a hard pull-off. Like that's what. Okay, so what are Kendrick's 5 best songs to you? Because I think 3 of them are on Good Kid, Mad City, probably at least 2.
Damn, Kendrick's 5 best songs.
Yeah,
That's hard, man. I mean, the first that came to mind when you said that, I love Black of the Berry.
Okay, it's not on mine.
I love not Hood Politics. You know what I'm talking about? Uh, it's on To Pimp a Butterfly as well.
See, there we go. But Mike, you can't remember the name of the song.
No. It's Hood Politics is in my head. You know what I'm saying? But
Mama said, you talking about Mama said you ain't got a lie?
I love that record too. You Ain't Got a Lie is great.
Oh, all these records are great, but Mike,
These Walls is up there for me too.
No, this is what I'm saying. So,
but you know, this is the thing with me and Hood Politics. That is the song.
Okay.
I mean, for me, I like when Kendrick is spazzing on a record, right? Like I like when he goes in. So that's why I like Hood Politics like that. I like Black of the Berry. I think
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
You like
I like his approach to that. I'd rather hear Kendrick rhyming like that than rhyming like on swimming pools or, you know. I mean, I like All Right for that, you know what I'm saying, sentiment too, because he's going in. I like when he raps.
Okay.
And so Phil would be up there for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like when he takes it there.
That's the first record you've named that would be in mine, would be Feel.
So Phil's there for me. Like, as much as I like DNA and songs like that, and they play well, but I like personally when Kendrick goes for it on the mic. ADHD is up there for me too. Shout out to DeCarlo. I love that. That was one of the first, even though he's
that's one of those make you a fan songs.
Yeah, exactly. Even though he's killing rigor mortis and all that, which I thought was super impressive, but like you said, it's the replay value on that. ADHD was one of those that, like you said, made me a fan early.
Christian Corinthians.
Now I like Mad City too.
Okay.
And I like Money Trees.
Okay. That's what I'm saying.
So all right. So if I'm getting together my top 5 as we speak. So I would have to include Money Trees. I would have to include Mad City. I would have to include Hood Politics. I would have to include ADHD and maybe throw in Black of the Berry. But again, that's not set in stone. That's just off the top of my head.
Okay, off the top of my head, definitely Money Trees and Real off Good Kid, Mad City are getting in there. Money Trees and Real are his.
Did I say Phil? Nah, I'm putting Phil in there too, or whatever. Yeah.
I was about to say after Money Trees and Real, I'm going to Feel actually.
Mm-hmm.
After that, there's a few different places to go. I can go Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. I can go Element. I can go How Much a Dollar Costs. Somewhere in there for me, right there. But what I'm saying that to say, I just named stuff from Damn and Good Kid, Mad City and one record from To Pimp a Butterfly though, because that's how I feel about To Pimp a Butterfly. Just on a song level, it's just How Much a Dollar Costs to me is just so masterful. It's a masterclass. You know, it's like okay.
Let me get to the super chat real quick. Shout out to Ray Rims, always showing love in the super chat. He says, why do you guys believe that Kendrick and Cole album hasn't happened? They said that they have many songs in the tuck. I mean, y'all, you want a Kendrick and Cole project? We're not even getting any Kendrick music.
It's not 2015 anymore.
You know, this is my
let it go.
Now, you know what? My answer to that question is why I don't think it has happened, because I don't think the songs are that good. And I don't think that the stuff that Kendrick is putting together right now is any good either. You know, everybody
material though, Mike. Why do you think that when people don't release material, sometimes it's just not right? Like Jewels and Wayne had stuff together. You didn't think any of that stuff was dope, and that's why we didn't see it. Or
this is a little different.
Okay.
It's a little different. These guys are two of the biggest in the game, man. Like, you know what I mean?
Wayne and Jewels, what happened? That's why that's why I reference Wayne and Jewels, because it's like no. Wayne and Jewels was pretty big when it was supposed to be.
Wayne was super big. Jewels had a core following, but it was.
I mean, a lot of people. Jewels like he had next for all the young guns coming out of New York, and that means something in hip hop. So
Jewels wasn't Cole or Kendrick. Let's be real.
But he was positioned as such. You don't think he was positioned as like the young dude? Oh shit!
Nah.
You listen what I'm missing. He had showing up the video shoots, Mike.
Let me go to KD super chat real quick. He said, "Y'all speak on that new Snoop album yet?"
We get
It
into
was
it.
surprisingly good. The Game, Nas, all great features on that album. The Curb sample is hilarious. The Curb Enthusiasm sample is hilarious. Yes, it was. We're about to
Hey,
get to it. We're gonna get to
just,
that. We're gonna talk
just,
about that in a second. I think we got another super
just
chat
because
too.
you be super chatting, don't be stealing our material and stuff on the bar, ma'am. Don't do that just because you super chat. Appreciate you. Let's go.
Appreciate the super chat from Jay Short. He says, "I predicted we have seen the last of Kendrick Lamar." I think he meant to say of. You know what?
No. I don't. We don't bury MCs around here. Not MCs of that caliber. He's not done. He's not done. What I'm saying is what he needs. I'm going to keep on saying the same thing. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. He needs to make something at least comparable to Damn in this climate. Period.
You know what? I was saying that too, but after listening to this Snoop album, man, I'm like, you know what, Kendrick,
Too hard.
you need to just go out here and have some fun, man. Because for whatever's going on, this 5 year break, you're taking it too serious to the point where you're not even able to have no fun with no hip hop shit. That's what I heard in this Snoop album, and
He was
Snoop
never a
just put
fun
out,
artist.
huh?
He was never a fun artist. There are moments on Section 80 and Good Kid, Mad City that are fun, but after that, it's really not fun. He's not that guy.
Yes, Snoop has that luxury of being able to do that and have
Yes.
some fun with it. But you know what? When I say fun, the kind of fun that Nas had on Magic. Just
And
have
KD
some,
too.
like, dude. You don't have to go out here and make a theatrical piece. You've done that. Just get on some beats and rhyme.
No, I told you. The fun matters. I told you. What did I say when I heard KD one? And I was like, hey, I was like, Mike, do you hear Nas having fun? I was like, did he make Spicy in 27 Summers? I was like, is he having fun? Is he enjoying life
Yeah.
and celebrating? And it's okay. Is it okay? Yes, it is okay. I keep trying to tell you. Stop listening, man. Your favorite rappers used to have fun, Mike.
Just have fun. Did you
It's
hear
okay.
that new
You gotta be
504?
serious all the time. Like you can have fun sometimes. Tupac had fun. Biggie had fun. Jay had fun. Nas had fun. Rakim had fun.
I think that's what Kendrick needs to do at this point, but maybe the time for that is kind of over.
Yeah, it's a fun. Slick Rick definitely had a bunch of fun, Mike. Slick Rick, a lot of greats. LL, fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Had some good times.
J. Cole's having fun right now.
He partying on the mic right now, and people is running
J.
around.
Cole's having fun.
People are running around talking about Benny got bodied on the track now, Mike. I called it a draw. People like, no, Cole bodied him.
Nah, Cole did his thing on there. Yeah.
I was like, he didn't body him. He didn't body him, though. Y'all need to stop with the body him because Benny's wordplay is too exquisite on there.
No, he didn't body him, but we exaggerate. He does have the better
That's
voice.
A1MC wordplay out of Benny and delivery, though. So just because Cole had a moment and may have edged him out, it's like, oh, he didn't body him, though.
I mean, it's a dope song. Two dope MCs putting out dope verses. So yeah. Listen, this is what I will say. Snoop just dropped an album that we're about to talk about.
Good.
Mary J. Blige just dropped an album.
Did she?
Yeah, she did.
Oh, you want to know what? I saw the homie post that on Facebook this morning talking about it's going to be a good day. What's her name? Dropped Hotels today, too. That's my homie Mackie from high school. She had dropped the line on Facebook today. What's her name? Jasmine Sullivan, I think? Yeah, Jazz dropped today, too.
So Mary dropped. Dr. Dre dropped some songs like 2 weeks ago. And Dr. Dre never drops any songs. And Eminem, he's out here selling spaghetti in L.A. Kendrick, what is going on? What is going on, Kendrick?
Did we hit a thread saying looks like Kendrick may be dropping something on Friday? And you texted me, sending it to me, and you're like, it's not gonna happen.
It did not happen.
No, that's why I didn't text you this morning because I woke up this morning. I was like, I'm not messing with Mike till after. I'm like calling Mike in the midday. I'm not even hitting him in the morning.
I mean, look, man. The reality of the situation is it's the Super Bowl. And like Mary said, like people can make money off of the Super Bowl like from here on out. Like this is a lifetime opportunity, especially if you're dropping new material, especially if you're that artist that is in the prime of their career.
Mary's performing free, Mike.
If Kendrick is not dropping any music during or before the Super Bowl, it's not coming, guys. It's nowhere near done. Like, he's not even dropping a single. Like, let's just say hypothetically, he's in the lab, right? And let's just say that the project's not completed, not done, or whatever.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just say it's not done, right? But I do have an idea, and I got some songs that I want to tease people with, whatever, whatever. We would hear that by now. All eyes are on the legends and Kendrick that are going to be on that stage at the Super Bowl Sunday. Like, everybody's going to be watching. It's the highest rated event, period, in the world,
So
annually. And you ain't dropping no music, you don't have the music. Either he doesn't have the music, which I find hard to believe, but the shit is trash.
people talk about my rants. See, you get brief with your rants, but you be saying some very felonious stuff. Okay.
What did I say wrong?
Because I've already told you this. His real deadline is just like, okay, win the Super Bowl, Mike.
It's Sunday.
What's today?
It's Friday.
Yeah,
you think he dropping Sunday?
I mean, Mike, he on. You know, we got first 48. Oh, he on the last 48. That's really where we at. I mean, if you really want to know how I feel, it's like, yeah, I've been campaigning for you low key for a minute, but I'm gonna need you to drop some music. And he has not dropped the music. Now,
man, Eminem will drop some music before.
We saw LeBron bobbing his headphones last training camp in the summertime, talking about some Kendrick music on the way. Did we not? Did we not have this guy just pop up talking about some new Kendrick music on the way? So I say all that to say he's been recording. All right?
Yeah.
Now here's what I think. Because he's an artist, and types of artists are drawn to him. That's why you and I are drawn to him too. And we're sick of him not doing material after 5 years. But he might have something in the can, and he might have outworked himself in terms of this climate has changed so much, even in the 2 years that we have done this podcast, that a lot of that great material that was great that he probably been recording maybe did not sound so great after, I don't know, 3 to 6 months went by.
You got to act fast. No, you're right. Let me get to some of these super chats real quick, and I'm going to get back to what you're saying because I think that is very potent.
KD says bars, don't steal our bars. We don't want your super chat. Go.
KD says that the Pulsar and the hipsters gas Kendrick's ego up. Tabatnet says that I love you guys, but Kendrick will drop an album within the next month. I'll give you $50 to this dope channel if it doesn't happen. Yeah, go ahead and send the 50 now. It's not happening.
Get ready to us $50. If you want the money to get there in a more expeditious fashion, you can just go.
Yeah, you can just send that to the Cash App.
Right. I would like that before Super Bowl Sunday to gamble with after he doesn't drop anything new at halftime. And I have to tuck my tail between my legs and come back to Mike again and come up with some bogus explanation for why he hasn't dropped material like I've been doing for the last 2 years.
Antonio says, if Kendrick doesn't drop an album within the week of the Super Bowl, he will fumble this perfect opportunity. I agree. Not everybody gets an opportunity to perform on the Super Bowl stage. Especially being able to perform on the Super Bowl stage in the prime of your career next to Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. What more could, you know what I'm saying? You remember when they crowned him the next king of LA? Now, you remember he came out to at Coachella during Dre's set. This was the opening of that whole Good Kid, Mad City buzz. Like, how do you squander an opportunity like this? At this point, I feel like you're at the status of, you know what? I'm a legend. I don't need to put out any more music. Is that where Kendrick is?
No. Damn all that, Mike. I just realized something. Why isn't Kendrick on Snoop's album?
He's not on anybody's album.
Like, didn't Snoop just drop an album? Ain't y'all about to be on stage on Sunday? Didn't Snoop just buy Death Row? Ain't this West, y'all? I done told you how they rep out there, Mike.
He's not on anybody's album.
No. Everybody out there know what I'm talking about. You know how they rep, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah, they rap harder than anybody. Why is Kendrick not on Snoop's album? I just thought about that. It's like, hold on, because this shit is dope too, Mike. This is a dope Snoop album.
It is dope. You know what? Remy Shaw says they said that Tupac's hologram is performing too. Let me get to that. We were actually going to talk about
very
that.
Problematic.
It's very problematic. So the Sun is reporting that the hologram is going to perform at the halftime show, rapping alongside Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg.
That's obviously California Love and America's Most Wanted.
Well, they did that set at Coachella. You remember?
Hmm.
They brought out the hologram shit. What was that Coachella set? That was like 9 years ago. I feel like nearly 10 years ago. So imagine what the Tupac hologram looks like 10 years later at the Super Bowl.
They love a nigga's soul like Pocket the Coachella.
This should be a new and improved Tupac hologram. It was dope then when they did it. What do you think about Tupac performing at the Super Bowl halftime show?
I think that's how epic he is, that they have to keep making holograms of him.
Do you like it?
No. On a personal level, no, don't like it at all.
You know,
But
what a lot of the metaverse
yeah, I understand how important he is to everybody, though. So I just feel like, but on a personal level, no. But I understand how important he is. So,
Well, let's look at the scene, right? You know, you got Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre performing at the halftime show at the Super Bowl that is in Inglewood, California. So they cannot not do California Love. And that's why when, all those things align.
Yes, they can, because
No,
Dr. Dre's catalog is dope enough that they cannot bring out Tupac hologram and not do California Love.
Cool.
Yeah, they can.
Cool. Let's be real.
Let's be real. You don't got to keep on bringing.
Let's be real. No, for the audience we're talking about, this Super Bowl audience, the people who watch NFL football, who they cater NFL programming to, California Love is the song. Like, even when we see the Lakers in the finals and all that, they're playing California Love, whether it be the instrumental or whether it be, the full out song. It's the most commercial Dr. Dre song there is. Like, and I'm sure the people in California, I'm sure they rock to it, but they probably feel like New Yorkers feel about Empire State of Mind when it comes to just how outsiders draw to that song. You know what I'm saying? Because I personally like Live and Die in LA better than California Love, personally.
That's absurd, and so is putting Empire State of Mind and California Love in the same conversation. Both of those things are absurd.
Jay Short said, no California Love, no show. I agree. That's part of I'm sure that was part of the halftime deal. Y'all got to do California Love. It's in Inglewood. So, yeah, with the fact that they're going to do California Love, I was like, yeah, the hologram's coming with that. Now, they might not do America's Most Wanted, but hologram's coming.
Pac's talking on California Love, just so we clear.
What's that?
Everybody remember how Pac talking on California Love, just so we clear?
Yeah, I mean, I think they listen more so to the flow than the actual words. I don't bail.
Just out of jail, California dreaming. As soon as I step on the scene, I'm hearing Hoochie screaming. Feeling from alcohol. The life of a West Side player where cowards die. Like, all I'm saying is like listen to what people is like sitting up here chanting and campaigning and asking for. And I get it. It's just like, for me personally, that is not how I want him remembered. And that's my problem with it, because they tote those records out about him. And that's not the totality of who he was. And he gets remembered that way in these moments because of it. So that shit is not okay with me, because he's more important than that.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. His importance got him there, but if you bringing him out to bring California Love, like, and that's the representation of Tupac that we're getting, then he's not getting appropriate and proper representation now, is he?
Well, he never has to the mainstream.
Thank you.
Those are the records that they toed out. I mean, All Eyes on Me is his whole image.
Yeah, so I don't like it. Yeah, if I liked it, it's like, no, I don't.
Listen, when they did it at Coachella, I guess it was so unexpected, and it was in the flow of the concert, and it came across so well at the time. I liked it, and but to recycle it and do it on this format, I get it, but I don't love it. I don't love it.
How many people you got on stage? Y'all need Pac that bad?
Yeah. Like you said, you don't need it. I would rather, them go out there and perform California Love and have the crowd or whatever rapping Pac's part, or just leave it out and be like, man, rest in peace, Tupac, or something like that, as opposed to bringing a hologram out.
you can start off the show dropping the beat and have Dre and Snoop come out. Rest in peace, Tupac. You feel what I'm saying? And then
Right.
get into 187 on an undercover cop, like I said, should really be going on.
Well, they're not gonna do that at the Super Bowl. Realistically, though, what songs do you think are gonna be played at the Super Bowl? Knowing who is on this set, and let's just say they're able to fit 7 songs in. You got 7 songs with these 4 artists. Is it 4? 5 artists.
We're losing count.
Yeah,
we got 4 or 5
7
artists
songs with these 5 artists. What
5
songs?
artists in a hologram, Mike? 5 artists in a hologram? What's that? 5 in a possible? We got 5 in a possible.
Well, I mean, the hologram, he doesn't count as a full person. It's going to be a Dre song.
He's not here with us.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, I'll give you one. Mary J. Blige's Family Affair. That's going to be done.
Easy.
Okay. So now we got, let's just say, now we got 6 songs left, right?
Lose Yourself, Eminem.
Okay. That's done. 5 songs left.
We got 5 songs left. Now everybody can get off stage and we can get our Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg performance.
No,
Mike,
no, you still got Kendrick left.
Yeah, Murder Was the Case? What?
No, what Kendrick song's going to be done?
Oh, yeah.
See, you forgot about Kendrick.
Yeah, whatever. I guess All Right. All right, next. Can we get to our 4 Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg songs?
All right, 4 Dr. Dre and Snoop.
Yes. I want to hear Murder Was the Case.
No, not what you want to hear. What do you think is going to be played?
I'm assuming Nothing But a G Thing is going to get played and Still Dre is going to get played.
Okay.
Those 2 are down. Nothing But a G Thing and Still Dre are getting played. I guess California Love.
California Love. And you got one more, I guess, what, Gin and Juice? I hope they do What's My Name, but you know.
I was about to say, What's My Name or Gin and Juice, Mike? Where are we going? Toss up? Flip a coin? Super Bowl style?
Yeah. I think we just called the lineup.
I say What's My Name just because I think it's going to slap harder stadium-wise. Like,
It's
Gin
a
and
better
Juice,
song.
I don't know why people think Gin and Juice is better than What's My Name. It's not.
Gin and Juice is just catchier. What's My Name is one of the best produced records.
Gin and Juice is a hook.
Yeah.
It's a hook. It's one of those first great hook hip hop records too. People forget Doggy Style coming out in late '93. There aren't a lot of great great hip hop records where the greatness about the record is attached to the hook. The greatness of the record is usually attached to the greatness of the MC Mike performance before that. That's one of those special records like that where it's like, nah, Snoop's killing the hook.
Shout out to Jay Short with the super chat. He said, you can't have California Love show with Eminem and no Tupac. That's problematic. Yes, it is.
Hold on, Mike. I want to address something.
Go ahead.
Y'all, I see all of y'all in the comments calling stuff very problematic and hitting your little LOLs and hitting your little cry emojis and stuff.
You need your shirt, man. You need that. It's problematic.
I see what you're doing. Y'all are very shady. Keep going, Mike.
All right, so I think that's the lineup, man. I mean, if we're talking like 7 songs, you got Family Affair, Mary J. Blige, you got Lose Yourself, Eminem, you got All Right with Kendrick, and I think that we're going G Thing, Still DRE, California Love, and What's My Name. They're smart. They're going to do What's My Name. There could be a Forgot About Dre out there. That could happen. K. Thompson said Forgot About Dre. That could happen.
The record's big enough and the record's strong enough. I'll give it that.
I don't see Beautiful featuring Pharrell. I just see this is more of a Dr. Dre show.
Hold on, Mike. And I know, I think Dr. Dre's most important mic performance is, of course, Express Yourself off NWA, Straight Outta Compton album. But Mike, his best mic performance might be Keep Your Heads Ringing. What do you think about maybe
getting
so?
Nah.
As far as him by himself. He's by himself on the record, Mike.
Okay.
And it's centered around.
I still like Let Me Ride more, but I feel you.
Rolling in my 6'4". That's Snoop.
But I'm just saying, like taking on 3 verses.
No. That's part. No. Snoop saying rolling in my 6'4" is part of that record's vibe, though, Mike. It's not the same. If Dre says rolling in my 6'4", it don't feel as smooth. It don't feel as clean. It's not letting me ride as easy.
No, you're right.
It matters. Snoop's voice, and Snoop is that important on that record, even for the brief moment. That's why I say Keep Your Heads Ringing.
Next episode's probably going to get played, too, because they play that in the trailer. That might be the intro. These guys are great at putting together shows.
You're going to have to definitely control, alt, delete, block out, blot. So why? Well, because after you go, hold up, wait. After you do that, Mike, you go, bleep, bleep, bleep.
KD says we skipped his last super chat. Hold on, KD. Let's get to this super chat real quick. We don't want to be skipping up super chats. He said, "Y'all think? Yeah, this is what he had to say. You think they're gonna surprise everyone and bring out 50 Cent game and publicly squash the beef? A dude hate it or love it. 50's been speaking highly of game. I don't think that they're gonna do that at the Super Bowl. No.
I'd rather hear deep cover.
I mean, I would love for 50 Cent and Game to go out there and do hate it or love it, but I think that would more than likely happen if 50 was in the place of Kendrick or something. You know what I mean? But neither one of them are even on the bill, so I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't see that happening, but I think it would be dope if it did.
Oh, you did? You can keep that.
It'd be dope if 50's on Drillmatic actually.
I don't love Hate It or Love It the way all y'all do either. I just want to go ahead and say
I never loved that record like that either. Now we do agree on that.
How We Do is better than Hate It or Love It.
Now How We Do, I like that one.
I love How We Do.
I think I didn't like Hate It or Love It's video or something. I didn't really love the beat either. It was very generic.
Yeah, it was very it was almost like, let's give him another hit record right quick. Throw 50 on it with him too. It's like, oh, no. That's like actually one of my least favorite moments of the documentary.
I mean, the soul sample on it, and, I'm sure people will think that we tripping or nitpicking or whatever, but the soul sample on it, like I said, was super generic. Who produced that? Was that Cool and Dre?
That's Cool and Dre.
Yeah.
They didn't try hard that day. No, they didn't. Next.
Yeah, that just sounded like production-wise, that was just dialed in,
Cook, crack.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about this Snoop album.
Let's.
Because we got over 150 people in here. We're like 45 minutes in.
Shout out to the people.
Shout out to the people. And tell everybody to subscribe. Click the bell icon so you know when we're going live. And also, tell some more friends that, you need to go ahead and subscribe to this According to Hip Hop YouTube channel. These niggas be talking shit. Anyway. Maybe I shouldn't say that on there. But all right, I got the track list here. And I'm putting it up on the screen. Still Smoking, Gunsmoke, Coming Back. We're going to look at the features on here, right? We got October London, Never TD Yvonne. We got Nas, we got Emo Trap, T.I. Sleepy Brown, Nate Dogg, The Game, The Baby, Uncle Murder, Hey Dion, Jane Hancock, Wiz Khalifa, Lil Duval, October London again, and October London closing it out. What did you think about this album?
Jane Hancock was on the Algorithm album. That was one of those talented artists that I was talking about, this bubbling that we need to be checking for.
Yeah.
Game Snapped on here. That record's dope. I don't know how else to put it.
Not a lot of people feature Game on stuff. So it's always dope to hear Game, on somebody else's stuff. He was on Russ's album, and he did his thing on there too.
West, Snoop gonna pull him out.
Yeah.
He gonna show Game some love because he knows what Game did for his coast. And I say his coast because Snoop's the biggest artist that ever came out of this coast, because Snoop's the biggest artist in the history of rap, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Him or Kanye. We can argue.
Yeah.
So conflicted with Nas. Here's the bag that Nas is in. Nas apparently is doing hooks for Snoop Dogg now. He doesn't need to rhyme anymore to make an impact, Mike. How about that bag?
Yeah, I caught that too. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing not to get a verse from Nas, but whatever.
No, the hook is pretty dope. That's what I mean. It's always like, oh, you showing up and singing hooks and shit now? It's like, oh, your hook game like that now? When has somebody called Nas for a hook ever in life, Mike? That's the type of zone.
I'm trying to think about it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Niggas don't call Nas for hooks. That's the type of zone he's in. Snoop's like, yeah, I let Nas do my hooks.
You know what? Should we? Let's talk about the album. Then we'll talk about the acquisition of Death Row and all that stuff, what that means. I don't know if maybe we should start with that and then lead into the album. But let's talk about the album first.
Love the intro, Mike.
I love it too.
That's my okay. So on a personal level, Mike, the intro to The Chronic is my favorite rap intro of all time because I've never heard anything like it before it or since. So the fact that he actually rhymed over the beat that he talked shit on originally, and it's just that full circleness of like, yo, this fool on Death Row Records now, and it's like, well, he kind of should, because Death Row Records kind of exist mostly because of his hit making ability.
His pen had a lot to do with it.
His pen is the reason that Death Row exists more than anything else. And that includes Dr. Dre's beats. Because Dr. Dre had MCs, but he didn't have Snoop. And when he got Snoop, that shit changed.
Well, again, You know what I feel about Dre? I think Dre is the most important piece on the hip hop board.
That's fine, but Snoop.
But he made Death Row. Like Death Row he's Michael Jordan on Death
Well,
Row.
I'm going to say, what is Death Row without the Chronic and Doggy Style, and who's the main author of those albums? Oh,
Now I
right.
agree with you, but see
All
the
right.
thing is when
You
Dr.
could
Dre,
have got DJ Quick to produce some of that shit too, Mike. That's the flip side people don't talk about. Yo, Quick could have came in and produced some of that shit. It would have played very, very well. Snoop would have had a nice career.
I'm gonna take this back. Dr. Dre is LeBron James. Dr. Dre gets on your team, championship.
Immediate contender for
He
a championship.
leaves the team, it's in
Lottery.
disarray.
Lottery. Yep.
It's amazing. And we've seen him do that. I mean, NWA was even able to make niggas for life after Ice Cube. The legendary Ice Cube left their group, and they were still able to make a dope album. Dre leaves, it's it.
Snoop Dogg's kind of like Larry Bird from like 84 to 87. That's really who Snoop is. Like in them early like Death Row days, it's like, no, about 3 straight MVPs and then not the same, but still that dude. Yeah.
You know, and this is not a slight to anybody because I think Chris Bosh is a first ballot Hall of Fame in my personal opinion.
He is.
I think that
Easily.
when Dre left, Snoop was looking a little bit more like Wade and Bosh or Bosh when LeBron left and went back to Cleveland. And he went and got Aftermath is looking like the new Cleveland. You know what I'm saying?
I never liked how people talked about Wade and Bosh like that team wasn't viable because had Bosh stayed healthy actually that year, I think they would have at least made the conference finals and were
I
a
think
game
so
away.
too. Yeah.
And we're a game away from making the conference finals, which means they would have been playing you know who. And I trust Wade more than I trust you know who to make a game winning shot. And that's big money time. So anything could have happened. So they were one injury away from like for me being back in the finals again.
Definitely. I mean, that's a fair assessment.
I'm
But
taking-
it's just the optics of it, right?
No,
It's
I get it, but if we get into Game 6 and Game 7 and you're taking LeBron and I got Wade, I don't care if Wade's needs work or not. That jump shot works when the money's on the line, and the way LeBron shit ain't never really worked. So
Harry H says, unpopular opinion, but I am completely content with Nas's contribution to the song Conflicted. Yeah, I mean, I didn't walk away like, dang, I didn't get a Nas verse. Yeah,
I thought it was a dope contribution. I didn't feel like I needed a verse because his hook contribution was dope.
I think the only thing is the way they hyped it up, like we were going to get a Nas verse, and we did.
Right. No, and the way it starts off, you almost don't think that that's Nas doing a hook. You think that's a back and forth about to take place. So there's a little trickery going on. They tricked you a little bit. You got you good.
They definitely tricked us.
Because when Nas comes in with the hook and then Snoop picks it up, I'm like, are they about to do a back and forth? And then I was like, got your ass. So my crypto enthusiasm is like just...
It's Snoop having fun, man. And I'm a big Kirby Enthusiasm fan, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not, but Mike, when the beat came on, I was like, I want to hear him pull this off. And I'm like, oh shit, he's pulling it off. Like, yeah.
And that's when I said to myself, I can't make excuses for Kendrick not dropping any music.
Right.
Like, just have some fun, man.
Mike, we're on the same page because that for me is where the album changed, where the tone changed. And I'm like, man, this dude's having fun and succeeding and not even trying. And meanwhile, the guy that's supposed to have the reins from the same coast, we can't even get a record out of, let alone fun records, let alone dope records.
Which one was the roller skating joint? Was that coming back?
I don't know, Mike, because he
coming back was a vibe, man.
Hold on, which one was that? Yes, Coming Back, track 3. Yeah. House I Built.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Catch a Vibe. Yeah.
Well, this is what I got from the album. You know, I was telling you offline. I feel like
Doggy Style.
What's that?
The track Doggy Style, track 7.
Yeah.
Listen,
I love the fact that Snoop embraces his legacy, and you know, there are a lot of artists who have made classic material who don't do that as much. I mean, I don't feel like Lauren does that a lot. She's been doing that more of late. You know what I'm saying, with the Fugees material. I definitely don't think Andre 3000 does that when it comes to the Outkast catalog. And it's good to see people like Snoop being able to move forward, but still honor, you know what I'm saying, the impact of what Doggy Style means and kind of make extensions of that. I mean, I always felt he's like the George Clinton or Boosie Collins of hip hop, man. And those guys have always embraced their impact and what they did in their prime and were able to keep it going because of that. And I think that's cool. Like, it's nothing serious. It's just music.
You and you've said that multiple times. I don't know if anybody has embraced the greatness of their seminal pieces of work the way Snoop has and made it work for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like Doggy Style and The Chronic have not haunted him the way like Illmatic has haunted Nas, or even Reasonable Doubt with Jay Until the Blueprint. Or
Well, he faces it head on.
Right, because there's an embrace that comes with it. But here's part of it too, Mike, and this is what I mean. Well, it's easy for Snoop to do it and to have fun with it. And this is what I keep on telling people. You almost forget Snoop's a gangster on Doggy Style. The shit's so fun. He's been pulling this off for a minute.
He's a star, man. He'll go out there with the Doggy Style jackets and all that stuff. He embraces it, man.
He's hip hop's first
mega star.
Doggy Style is the first rap album to ever go #1 on the Billboard charts, Mike. He's our first rock star. Like they're everybody else is hood legends and icons before Snoop. Snoop's the first guy. It's like, nah. Like it's like when Mike came with the Air Jordans damn near. Like that's kind of who he is to this shit. It's like shit wasn't the same after Snoop came. Like,
I mean, he literally became a household name, damn near.
Right.
I don't want to say overnight, but in a very short period of time.
Like, how about this? It mattered if you became a household name after Snoop. It mattered if you had star power and charisma after Snoop. It mattered if your records were banging enough for white people to listen to them or for crossover records to be played, even though keeping your integrity. All that Snoop, Mike. Before that, it's kind of cultish. Like our icons are cult icons before Snoop. People need to understand that. Everybody don't know them. Like, I want people to understand, everybody don't even know LL Cool J in 1995 when he come back out with Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith did a whole lot for his crossover appeal. He didn't have records like that was crossing over, Mike.
We did a post on According to Hip Hop, because we have a diverse amount of fans on our Facebook page. And it was like a picture of like 9 MCs. And I want to say Rakim was in there, Nas J, and, all the way up to Drake, Cole, and all that stuff. And I think Kendrick was in there. Anyway, it was like one has to go. And there was a lot of young people who were saying, yeah, Rakim has to go because I've never heard any of his songs.
Oh, is that what? Did they say that on our page?
On the Facebook page. I mean, but that's a real thing because, like you said, there's not a lot of people who have not heard of who Snoop Dogg is. Whereas some of our legends, previously, like you said, more so cultish, like cult icons.
Hey, can I tell you something? So about that is why I talk about Cool G Rap so much, Mike, because he's the most cultish of all those icons from that era. All those other guys are even more well-known than him. That's why I reference him so much, because he's the cult icon from that era that gets overlooked the most. And so we need to make it a point to incorporate his name subtly more so that he gains some more of the cultish status that even his peers have, a la Rakim, KRS-One, Big Daddy Kane, Slick Rick, LL Cool J.
Man Nan says that I've been listening to Snoop since I was a kid. He reached the Caribbean. He said that Snoop is musically diverse. Jay Short says my grandma even knows who Snoop is. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of people in the world who don't know who Snoop Dogg is.
He's the first guy like that, Mike. They didn't know us before then. Like when
Run DMC? Because some people are bringing up Run DMC.
No, it's not. No, Mike, it's not the same.
But see, as a group, though, you know what I mean? And so they know those two as a collective. It's different when you're an individual star. And so I would say LL Cool J, but
I get what they're saying because Run DMC had people dressing like them.
But they were a group. It's the difference between the Beatles and Michael Jackson.
Right.
It's one person.
So I started another podcast, Mike, that I'm doing with my co-editor of my high school yearbook, who happens to be a good friend of mine, and he's white. Well, part of what we're doing, we've only done 3 episodes so far. People can check it out. Like, I'll shoot a link in the thread or something. But part of what we're doing is we're comparing and contrasting his genre and our genre. And it's funny, the Beatles song Let It Be came up the other day, and immediately, Mike, when we got to us, in terms of in the hip-hop sphere, or just in the black sphere, the only thing that he had to reference from the Beatles was he went to Michael Jackson and Thriller immediately. So Snoop in hip hop is that effect in terms of like the numbers and the music and the mania all being there. Like people need to understand this. Like Paid in Full by Rakim, Illmatic by Nas. No. Probably better records. But
Someone's bringing up something really important in the chat. Shakara Speak says, y'all are forgetting about MC Hammer. I think that's a valid point. MC Hammer had a cartoon. MC Hammer's a household, even to this day. It's not many people that you can name, that you can talk to who don't know who MC Hammer is and never heard of MC Hammer.
So,
but Hammer dances. It's a little different.
No.
I think he was viewed as more of an entertainer.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. So if you want to talk about what he accomplished, then yes, but let's talk about why he accomplished it. Are we talking about him as an MC? Are we talking about an entertainer who used to have a 30, 40, 50 piece in band that dilapidated his funds and left him broke about that show? You get what I'm saying? So
I wouldn't say bro.
He filed for bankruptcy before, so let's just say dilapidated.
Yeah.
But and he spoke to the dilapidation of the income, keeping up the 30, 40, 50 bandman sets. That's why I'm bringing it up, because he's speaking to that. Oh, Snoop selling $5 million just rapping off of Dr. Dre beats. That's different. That's what I'm saying. He's our first star. Like Hammer really didn't. He belongs to this culture. He belongs to the Bay, and he belongs to us. But how he did it is not unique to the craft of emceeing. He's rap's first big superstar, as in the guy with credibility, where it's like, no, we co-signing that guy too, even though he's selling all these records. Mike, he's going out to the Billboard Music Awards performing Murder Was the Case. Hammer wasn't doing no shit like that. Was Hammer pulling up in a wheelchair in a 6'4"? Because that's, you get what I'm saying?
Hammer was performing everywhere. I get what you're saying, but it's for different reasons, right? I think that when Hammer hit the stage, we expected him to entertain like on a physical level and I remember growing up, they would compare like who's the best dancer out there, Michael Jackson or Hammer, and like that was like a real conversation. Bobby Brown was in that conversation too, but Hammer was getting compared to people like Michael and James on an entertainment level. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like he was, being compared to LL Cool J or Run DMC on a rap level. So it's a little different, but yes, I guess technically he would be the first household name in that way. But Snoop did it from, like you said, just rhyming over Dr. Dre beats.
That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so here's what I'm trying to say. When Snoop's dropping and getting all this notoriety, they're comparing his flow to Rakim's. That's what I'm talking about, the credibility. It's like, no, this guy is making these hit records, and yeah, he's big. But flow and delivery-wise, he might be the best guy we've heard since Rakim. That's why I said he's our first real big superstar, as in like he belonged to this community and only this community, the MC community. He's getting compared to Rakim when Doggy Style's coming out, about his flow, about his delivery. That's totally different than what Hammer's doing, because what Hammer's doing doesn't totally belong to the culture of hip-hop. He's in the sphere, and I'm going to say this again. Listen to what I'm saying. Snoop Dogg's the first rapper to go #1 on Billboard charts for a rap album, not Hammer. Even though Hammer was here first. So Doggy Style was still bigger than anything that Hammer ever dropped in this community and on Billboard.
My man Mo Better, man, he described Hammer as like the last old school rapper stylistically to make it. And if you listen to him stylistically, he does have the Run DMC, I don't want to just throw people's names in there, but he had like that Houdini type of flow going on. Yeah. And honestly, his actual dance ability, his incredible dance ability, carried him over the top. It wasn't the rap skills that did it. Not to say he was a whack rapper on any level. I think that his style was just, like the styles had changed. When Rakim and KRS came, that whole way of rapping was dead.
There it is, Mike. I remember the first time, and I'm slightly older than you. Here's where I'm going to show my age right quick, Mike. Do you remember when Hammer came out to the video for "Let's Get This Party Started"? Do you remember that video?
That video was hard. That's actually my favorite Hammer song.
No. Do you remember when the video dropped, Mike?
Yeah, I remember.
Mike,
I was in elementary school.
I'm about to say, Mike, I'm still in elementary school.
Yeah.
What's the draw and the appeal to that
The
video?
dance, yeah.
Mike, when you hear Snoop Dogg on Deep Cover for the first time, what's the draw?
The raps, the beat too, but yeah.
Mike, when you hear Snoop Dogg on Dre Day, on the Hook to Let Me Ride, on Nothing But a G Thing, what's the draw?
Yeah.
When you hear What's My Name in Gin and Juice, and Murder Was the Case, and the Shiznit, what's the draw?
Snoop is.
He's our first big superstar has an MC. Right there. There it is. He's the first guy to make those. Mike, he got famous for making a record that's talking about murdering the police.
That's crazy, right? It's a soundtrack, so it works, but yeah.
Right, but all I am saying is that his fame is built on some real hip-hop street shit. Hammer shit was never built off of that. We were showing up to hear Snoop rhyme.
Well, I think dancing is a part of hip-hop too, but I get you.
It is. I'm talking about, that's why I said, the first rap superstar.
I got you. Ray Reynolds with another super chat. He says, since the beginning of time, name 2 more black musicians more famous than Snoop, Michael Jackson, and Prince. Are 1 and 2. Michael Jackson and Prince are 1 and 2. Yeah, it's not many. I mean, I guess you could say Kanye West, right?
Kanye, Stevie Wonder, Bob Marley. Shoot, Mike.
Got another super chat here from Antonio. We got, he says, salute, gentlemen. I appreciate the knowledge you guys display. And y'all know who the GOATs is, unlike the mainstream media that is bought and paid for. Yeah, you know. They tell them who the GOATs are.
Yeah.
You know, but, yeah, I mean, Snoop is, I would say Snoop and Kanye are probably the most famous rappers ever.
No, we got to put Tupac up there.
Tupac's there too. I was about to say that. I was about to say Tupac, Eminem.
But Eminem.
Where does Dr. Dre fall in this? Because I don't think Dr. Dre is a slouch either. There's not a person that doesn't know who Dr. Dre is. Dr. Dre's Quincy Jones here, right?
There are a lot of people who know who Snoop Dogg is, who don't know who Dr. Dre is, the same way there are a lot of people who know who Michael Jackson is, who don't know who Quincy Jones is.
Okay. That's fair.
Same thing. But for us, so iconic and legendary that it's like we be looking like, no, that's not true. And it's like, yeah, it is. Just in our sphere, we don't play that. But in other spheres, it's like that happens because they're not the front men. They're the band men. They're the producer.
You know what's interesting about Snoop, though? He's been able to stay around, stay active. And again, he doesn't fall into this whole Kendrick Lamar thing where it's like, I'm Snoop Dogg, so everything I make has to be epic, so you're not going to get this. Like, Snoop has a whole bunch of albums. He comes out all the time. Like, for whatever reason, he's been able to have fun and embrace this fame and not let it get to a pressure point for him. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people who get this famous, and we even see it with Kanye West, it's pressure. It's a lot of things that, you know what I'm saying, run you wild, but for whatever reason, for Snoop, I don't know if it's the marijuana, but he doesn't let any of that get to him.
No, Mike, it's not that. I'm going to tell you very, very quite simply what it is. It's the same thing that I've been saying. Well, the first 2 times we heard him, he's the author of 2 of the 10 greatest rap albums of all time, and nobody else can say that. Pressure's over.
Yeah.
There ain't no pressure after you, the author of The Chronic and Doggy Style. What type of pressure are you under? You just made 2 of the 10 best. You're the author of 2 of the 10 best rap albums that ever existed. You're not under any pressure. Nobody else can say that.
You know,
you gotta say that clearly.
I think for people who weren't around at the time, it's hard for them to fathom. But Snoop was bigger than Tupac and Biggie
combined.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
And so, like you said, the pressure's gone. Like these guys, yeah.
Hold on. If you take Tupac and Biggie's album sales in 1994, they almost are close to what Snoop sold by himself the year before. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and put them numbers together. If you go look at the calendar years, because if I'm not mistaken, Me Against the World's like 3 million. Ready to Die is 1.5. what is Doggy Style his first year? 5.
Well deserved too, and that's not even counting the Chronic.
He's the author of the 2 of the 10 greatest rap albums of all time. He's the only person that can lay clear claim to that.
Unknown what the super chat says that Snoop had a gospel album before Donda. These are facts.
It's facts. It Was Written is not a top 10 rap album, Mike. Blueprint's not a top 10 rap album, Mike.
It's very hard to top Doggy Style.
The only person that's even in the conversation is Big with Ready to Die and Life After Death. Nobody else is even in that discussion.
And Snoop's been famous for a very long time.
Since 1991.
Yeah, 30 years in. We got to give him credit, man.
All the time. It's like, oh, you don't feel Snoop. It's like, no. I don't. You weren't there. You remember that?
Yeah.
Because nobody ever had it like that, Mike. Like his peak. So when I think about peaks, I think about Rakim's peak, which is like the first real peak that I think is identifiable.
Mm-hmm.
And the next real peak is actually Snoop.
Someone mentioned Beyonce. You think Beyonce's name rings more than Snoop Dogg? Who you think's more famous, Beyonce or Snoop?
Snoop.
That's interesting. I don't know. I think that's close.
I don't. Because I think you're underestimating the value of the fact that she doesn't cross over to the men as well.
Well, we know who she is.
Yeah, you know who she is, but do you fuck with her?
I don't. Listen, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it all the way 100. Beyonce makes music for one demographic.
Right, Mike. But don't everybody get down with Snoop? That's what I'm saying. No, she's not. Right. There are dudes that just really get down with her because, like, we know who your hubs is. We respect that. Okay, cool, peace. But we ain't rocking to your shit. You're not riding like that. And she don't got niggas like in the hood on lock or nothing like that. None of that is going on with her.
I'm going to say something very controversial. Whoever
said Beyonce didn't say Janet Jackson. Flag on the flag.
I'm gonna say something very controversial, bro. And I know you've been getting a lot of hate for your Nicki comments and some of the Kendrick stuff too. And I know I get a lot of hate because of the Eminem stuff. But what I will say, Beyonce catalog ain't that tough, y'all. I know that's controversial, and I know the Beehive does not want to hear that, whatever. Her catalog's not that tough. I think that Rihanna, Mary J. Blige, and Mariah Carey could beat her in the verses.
Mike.
I'm not even going to go Janet Jackson. We already know what that is.
First of all, as far as Janet is concerned, you don't never want that smoke.
No.
You don't never want that smoke. As far as the other 3 ladies that you are concerned, I think they all would beat her relatively handily.
Because that Destiny Child catalog is even weaker. You're not playing any of those records.
No, hold on.
Think about it.
I think you can play Jumpin' still. Jumpin's the shit.
Shit is trash. Now stop. When's the last time you heard that song?
No. Jumpin' has a nostalgic value to it. Yeah,
what do y'all think in the chat? Is Jumpin' still pop? Come on, man. Ladies see a man at home. The coat's full of bottles and the pockets full of ground. Nah, man.
No, Jumpin's the shit, Mike.
Nah, man.
No, I don't agree.
It was 20-something years ago. Not now.
I think there's still some that's the most credible of their early songs to me, to be honest with you, Mike.
I think Say My Name is probably the best song they made.
Say My Name is there. Say My Name. Definitely.
That's the best song that Destiny Child made.
Say My Name.
And if y'all want to throw in on a technical level, the Ninth Wonder song, Girl, that he did on Destiny Fulfilled, that's a good song. But
Lose My Breath? What you think about Lose My Breath? I love that beat. That beat slapping.
I think we're okay on that. If I never hear that song again, I'm fine.
You don't like Lose My Breath? That beat tough, Mike. The beat's tough. You don't like the live instrumentation, the band effect? You don't like that? Come on, Mike.
It's okay. It's okay. I marched in a band. I get it. It's okay. But yeah, I think them on it, it's not good. It's not a well-written record.
I met the original 4 when they first came out.
I was going to go to album signing at Greenbrier Mall, but yeah, I didn't skip school that day. So
I was going West Side Charlotte after their first show. No was the remix single with Wyclef. That was like early.
Yeah. Well, this one was for Writings on the Wall. I don't know how we got into.
I met them shortly after No came out.
Yeah, that's super early.
Because Kelly and Beyonce are the same age as me, if I'm not mistaken. They're all 40 now. Because I can remember all of us being about 16 when I met them. Yeah.
Well, I think that. Again, the songs like Bills that were okay then and Bugaboo, Those songs don't sound that good now.
I still like Jumping. No,
Yeah, listen, you're the only person I've ever heard say that.
No, I'm just gonna go with it. No, I'm just thinking about their records that I would replay, and it's like Say My Name and Jumping are really the two for me. What else you got? Like, you got something better than that? You got something better than Jumping?
And Say My Name?
Yeah, like you said, Say My Name is it. But after Jumping, Mike, what do you got? Because you like Say My Name. I said Jumping. What else you got for me after that? That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. Like I said, that's why
I said lose my breath, Mike, because it's like, if we talking about the shit that really, really slaps, like Jumping is one of those records that slaps, because we're not playing Bootylicious or Survivor up in this bitch,
are we? Those songs aren't good, man. Jay Short said Coop is tripping. Yeah, Jumping's trash. Like I said, Say My Name is the most redeemable song that they have in their old catalog. I would put No above Jumping.
I'm not about to let y'all have this.
I'll put No above Jumping. I mean,
no, the beat's not as good, Mike.
Nah, man. Listen, you don't want Beyonce to go out there on no versus stage and play Jumping, man. Nah, you don't.
I don't think she's gonna have a choice, Mike. I don't think she's gonna have a choice if we get into Destiny's Child's catalog. That's what I'm saying. Y'all are getting on Jumping. Name the Destiny's Child songs better than Jumping outside of Say My Name.
Say My Name. No is better.
No might be a tie, Mike.
I think Bills is actually better too.
Here's what I'll submit to you. Jumping was a bigger hit than No too, like way bigger for a reason.
Was it?
Way bigger. Yeah, Mike. No was like on some jump off shit. That shit didn't stay like that. Stop that.
Well, this is the thing. No was a first single for them when they just came through the door. Jumping was like the third or fourth. No, I think it was like the fourth single on a successful album. So
no, hold on. Bills.
It was Bills, it was Bugaboo, then Say My Name, and then Jumping.
I think you got it backwards. We about to run that up. No.
I don't know how we got here, but
I was working in a record store when The Writings on the Wall came out, Mike, and I'm pretty certain you're wrong. It's very shady how y'all
because they went out there and put Bow Wow on the remix.
Very problematic. That's what it is.
You know what? They put Bow Wow on the remix, remember? And he played that in his verses with Soulja Boy, and it was bad.
They should have not did that. Nobody told them to do that.
Okay. All right. Let's get into this part of the news, man.
Yeah. No. Let's get into the rap.
Snoop Dogg acquires Death Row Records. Mm-hmm. You can go to accordingtohiphop.com and check out that story fully. But what does this mean exactly?
Full circle.
I think it's a dope thing that Snoop Dogg was able to acquire Death Row, and it's an inactive label though. It's one of those things where I remember reading Berry Gordy's book, and so Motown was independent throughout its whole heyday, right? They didn't do the distribution deals back then. Basically, the way things worked was you have a record company, and I go to a distributor. Like, let's just say I'm Motown. I go to you, Coop, as the distributor, and you actually print up the records, and then we sell them. You know what I'm saying? That's how it worked back then, and that was before distribution deals with Universal and all that. Anyway, the industry started moving in that direction, and then Mr. Gordy did a distribution deal with, I think, Universal, sell Motown to Universal. Hold on, you there? Oh, man, Coop just went out. He's probably going to call back. People saying Janet got the crown. We are still alive, right? Coop's got to call me back. I was in the middle of a point. Okay, sorry about that. Coop's back.
No. You were locked up on my side, so I had to jump out.
Yeah, it looked like my signal went out, but we're still live and none of that stopped. Anyway, long story short.
I think you jumped in. Go ahead.
Yeah, long story short, man, Berry Gordy was put in a situation where his choice was for him to either sell Motown or for Motown to basically go under, right? Mm-hmm. And so Motown still exists today, but it's not the Motown that's ran by Berry Gordy. It's ran by, Universal, Capitol, whoever owns it now. So Death Row must have went down another path where it went under. And Snoop is buying rights to Death Row to resurrect it, from what I'm understanding. Because they're not saying anything about the actual catalogs and publishing and things of that nature. You know, it's very vague on that type of verbiage. But I feel like Snoop bought it, and now the name is going to continue to resonate like a, like a Motown, like a Stax Records, and all that stuff. Not to be long-winded, but
No, I
that's
get you.
kind of like what I contextualize from it, where it's like, okay, he's back on Death Row with this album, and what better way to present the new Death Row other than, a new Snoop Dogg album?
Mm.
So now are artists going to be signing to Death Row? I guess so, right?
I mean, but how is this working with the situation with Def Jam working?
It's probably going to be the distributor. They need
Right.
a distributor still. So it might be a universal distributor thing, and maybe that's why Snoop took the position over at Def Jam in the first place.
Ooh. And he's connecting the dots, Mike. He's taking the most famous East Coast label, the most famous West Coast label, and he has say-so in both of them. And this is what I mean about him being big and our biggest star. So, I mean, that's power right there, Mike.
Well,
Like,
I mean, the co-founder of Death Row got pardoned.
Right now, he has access to Death Row and Def Jam's catalog. Who's ever been able to say that?
Well, he has a job at Def Jam, but now yeah. I mean, this is...
You got access, Mike.
Yeah.
Who got access to Death Row and Def Jam vaults at the same damn time?
No, exactly. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm looking this up because I want to get the facts right. But yeah, remember Michael Harry O, right?
Right, Harry O.
Yeah, Harry O got pardoned right before Trump came out of office. So I'm pretty sure all of these things have been in motion for some time now. And
Mike, I just want to say that Destiny's Child had their best week of sales on the right ends of the wall, and Jumping was the single that was out. But that's neither here nor there.
Hold on. But was that the fourth single?
No, it was actually the fourth single, like you said, Mike.
Okay.
But Say My Name was the third single. But Say My Name and Jumping almost moved as many units for that album as the original two singles. That's why it bubbled.
Say My Name did that.
No. Their biggest week of sales happened a year after Say My Name got released, but only 3 or 4 months after Jumping got released. That's Jumping, not Say My Name.
Well, that's when they got the whole new group too, right? You know what I'm saying?
Because then the group change that spiked all that too.
I don't think there's ever been a group change within an album. Not like a drastic group change like that.
I mean, and also too, people are kind of like misstating how big that they were, because that record only moved about 1.5, 1.6 that first year, and then it got pushed to 4 the next year. Say My Name and Jumping did that. The Controversy did that.
Yeah.
So it was like a 1.5. Or Mike, you want to know what 1.5 is around that time? Like Pop, Big, Nas, Jay are all moving way bigger numbers than that.
Kaya David says Jumping sounds like crap today. Rome Trial says, LOL, Coop loves him some Jumping.
I do.
That song is trash.
No, Mike. But I'm gonna say this again. Other than Say My Name, what do y'all have for me?
I think Bills is a better song. I honestly personally like Bugaboo better, but
I hate Bugaboo.
Yeah,
Bugaboo.
I don't like it either, but
Bugaboo is awful, Mike. That record is awful.
I think Cater to You's better. Soldier's probably better.
Maybe Cater to You. I can deal with Cater to You. We can talk Cater to You.
Mad Max says nobody is playing Jumping. When you said Jumping, I was surprised. I was like, what?
Mike, I hate all of their stuff outside of Jumping and Say My Name and like a couple of records. Like, real talk. Like, here's the Destiny's Child songs that I liked when they came out, Mike. No, the remix with Wyclef.
It was cool, yeah.
Say My Name and Jumping, Mike. End of list, Mike. End of list. I don't have anything else to go off of. I have 3 songs to go off of. You named one of them.
You know what? Taz Angel says Independent Women. That was, I give it to that one because
Like, that was some mid that you don't roll. Next.
I liked it until it got played over and over and over. This is what I will say about Destiny's Child. They made the worst Christmas album I've ever heard in my life.
Mike, I've never even listened to their Christmas album because I knew
somebody got it for me for Christmas one year. We was all young, and I was like, man,
talk to them? You should never talk to them.
It was bad.
But at least, hold on. But at least I'm honest, Mike. I'll get up in front of thousands of people and be like, yo, no, Jumping was my shit. Like, I'll do that shit. Yeah, I will.
No, I ain't gonna front. When it came out, I thought the beat was dope. But now,
But Mike, now that we're running down their catalog, y'all ain't giving me nothing to go off of. Y'all are giving me Survivor and like
Destiny's
Soldier
Child
and Blood of
catalog
Blue.
is weak. They
That's
have
what
a
I'm trying to
weak
say, Mike. That's what
catalog.
I was trying to be saying it in a nice way. Because if you really want to know the truth, Mike, Say My Name is the only classic song they made.
Yeah.
To me, Say My Name is the only classic, Mike.
And let's look at this, like, because people kind of compare Beyonce's. Well, they've compared her to Michael Jackson. So, look, they try to compare like the Destiny's Child years to the Jackson 5 years, but you
Or
can't.
Supremes. Or Supreme.
You can't. Like, you can't. They don't have the records, man. Like, they don't. Now,
Don't have the
Beyonce's had an incredible career on her own, but, you know, if she jumps in the verses, it ain't going to be none of those Destiny's Child songs played. Let's just say, hypothetically, Michael Jackson did a verses. He could viably do 5 Jackson 5 songs. Easy. He might not, but he could. I mean, he had the Jackson 5 stuff in his sets.
Which
like,
5?
Huh?
Which 5?
I would say I Want You Back.
Yep.
Stop the Love You Say.
Hold that one.
I'll Be There.
Definite.
Yeah. ABC was in his sets too.
We rock ABC. You got to play ABC. Yes, you do.
I mean, even if you want to go maybe tomorrow, or you could even do.
Jacksons?
Huh?
Any grown-up Jackson stuff?
Oh, you talking about like Can You Feel It or Heartbreak Hotel Can
You Feel It, Mike?
Can You Feel It's great.
Can You Feel It's great, Mike. You can do Can You Feel It in the verses.
You could do Can You Feel It. You could do Heartbreak Hotel. You could do. He liked Move Your Body a lot.
Hey, Mike, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Mike can beat a lot of people on Off the Wall and Jackson 5 stuff. He don't even got to get the Thriller or Bad.
Blame It on the Boogie. You know what I'm saying? Like
Boogie. Yeah, Blame It on the Boogie live. That's going down. It's going down.
I'm just saying, but she can't do that when it comes to Destiny's Child. Ain't nothing to play, man.
Beyonce ain't never had no hits like that with Destiny's Child, Mike.
Somebody said With the Child's Heart. That's a good one too. I mean, I was even gonna go to I Want to Be Where You Are. I was gonna go to, and I know those are on his early solo stuff.
I was thinking Never Can Say Goodbye, Mike.
You Never Can Say Goodbye. Maybe
I
tomorrow.
love Never Can Say Goodbye.
Dancing Machine, yeah.
Dancing. Oh, Mike, he can take you down with Off the Wall and the Jackson 5 stuff.
He could. But the Destiny's Child stuff's not like that, man.
No, not even remotely close.
Yeah.
I don't even know how we got the Jackson 5. We kind of disrespecting the Jackson 5 by putting them in the same.
Man, it ain't even. And like you said, the Supremes, get out of here, man.
Like that. Supremes got 45 records better than everything they ever did.
Jeez.
3-4 songs on one album. It's like, yeah, that's better than Destiny's Child's whole catalog.
I mean, you got Can't Hurry Love. You got Stop in the Name of Love. You got
Baby Love.
Baby Love. Yeah, we can just go off the Love records.
Give you something you can feel. Just those 4 records alone, Mike. Those 4 records right there, better than everything Destiny's Child ever made.
Love Child. I mean,
those 5 records are better than every song Destiny's Child's ever made.
Did I say Can't Hurry Love?
You did.
I did. What's the song I'm thinking about? Keep Me Hanging On is what I'm thinking about. That's actually my favorite Supreme song.
That's the flip side on one of those sings. That's the B-side. I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah. Set Me Free, why don't you, babe?
Yeah, they was
Let Me Be, why don't... Yeah, that song's real.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this. Man, we keep getting these super chats. Is it Ray Realms again? Yes, it is. Shout out to Ray Realms. I want to acknowledge the super chat because we got to acknowledge the super chats out here. He said, I believe that the only sister that can match with Beyonce in the verses is Mary J. Blige. B-Day is a beast. She may be unbeatable in regards to stage performance. Can you check out the previous super chat?
Can you check out Rhythm Nation by Janet Jackson and come back and talk about it stage performance? Or The Velvet Road?
Yeah.
First of all, Beyonce don't want no action with Janet on stage. And all of y'all that keep saying that forgot about who Janet was on stage. Janet is a better dancer than Beyonce times 20. Times 20.
I think so, too.
Janet is supremely more gifted as a dancer. So one of the most important things about live performance, especially in their sphere, is can this motherfucking dance.
I do think that Beyonce's a better vocalist. And that's coming from me. I'm a super Janet fan.
The only thing that she is better at than Janet.
Yeah.
You're right there.
I'm going to get to another super chat, too. He said, if Snoop were to team up with a producer for his entire album like Nas did with Hit Boy, who would both of you choose? He said, I say Rock Marciano. I guess Dr. Dre doesn't count, huh?
Hello? Message. Don't be a menace.
Uh, all right, all right. I do want to get to the Juicy J thing too.
You don't get to pick Dr. Dre. I'm picking DJ Quick next.
I want to hear what Antonio. I want to get to this Antonio super chat too, man. I know we're doing a lot of super chats. We appreciate the love, but we got to show love to the super chats. He says Off the Wall was better. Thriller was,
yes.
Yeah, he said Thriller was bigger.
Yes.
Off the Wall was better. Thriller was bigger.
How many times have I said that to you, Mike?
I disagree.
I told you Off the Wall is better than Thriller.
I disagree.
Mike, everybody that was there, the people who were there, because we were not old enough to be there, the people that were there in their primes when Off the Wall and Thriller came out tell me all the time, Coop, Off the Wall. I haven't found.
Listen, Off the Wall feels better than Thriller.
If you're between the ages of 17 to 25 when Off the Wall and Thriller came out, every person in that bracket has told me that it's Off the Wall. Mike.
I mean, my parents say the same thing. You know what I'm saying? My parents were dating or just got married at that time, so they were young people going out and stuff, and yeah, they swear about Off the Wall. They love Thriller, but they say Off the Wall is the better album.
Get on the floor and dance with me. Mike, it's gigging on another level, Mike.
You know, Quincy Jones says that Off the Wall is their best piece of work together. That's what Quincy said.
Mike, you want to gig when them beats start dropping all the time.
This is what I will say, and I have said before. If we line up all of the songs from both albums and stack them up from the greatest to least, the two weakest songs are going to be from Off the Wall. And it's going to be Girlfriend, and it's going to be Burn This Disco Out. Everything on Thriller is better than those two songs.
Okay.
Everything.
Okay, so here's how I always felt about that, though. How many of his all-time great records are on Off the Wall? And how many of them are on Thriller?
I think that the top two songs would be from Thriller.
What is that?
I would say Billie Jean and Human Nature are better than every song on Off the Wall. I think Off the Wall and Rock With You are the best two songs on Off the Wall. I think Can't Help It is right there too. So if I'm doing a top five, right, of that album, we're meshing this album together. I'm going Billie Jean number one. I'm going Human Nature number two. I'm going Rock With You, Off the Wall, Can't Help It.
I can't.
Want me to keep going?
No, I can't argue with you per se, but I think it's so close that I think if you're actually picking his 10 best songs as a solo artist, I think 4 are coming off the Wall. I think 4 are coming off of Thriller. I think the ones that are coming off the Wall feel better, even if they don't sound better and aren't bigger. And so that's what I'm going to lean on. So if we're talking about it being comparable, first of all, Mike,
Thriller's so big that PYT doesn't even get a look.
It's hard to fuck with Billie Jean, is what I'm saying. But if you're talking about what feels better, the 4 best records on Off the Wall, they all feel better than Billie Jean to me. Rock With You feels better than Billie Jean. It does.
It does. I think that Don't Stop Till You Get Enough is better than Want to Be Starting Something. I think they're very comparable, but I think that it's better.
Yes, it is.
But after that, it starts to become a landslide because PYT's involved.
That's why I'm bringing up Off the Wall right now, because I don't agree with that.
You want to bring up Off the Wall? Let's do this. This wasn't even planned on the show.
Yeah,
well, I know both of these records, you know what I'm saying, like the back of my hand, but...
Mike, this is exactly what I'm talking about, Mike. Don't stop till you get enough. Rock With You, work day and night. Well, those first 5 songs, Mike, it doesn't get any better in music than that almost.
Well, it kind of does.
No, in the history of Mike, name the first 5 records on Thriller right quick.
The first 5 records on Thriller is Wanna Be Starting Something, then Baby Be Mine, then The Girl Is Mine, then Thriller, Beat It.
Stop right there. All 5 of these records are better than those 5 records you named.
Let me do this. Let me start with this run. Thriller, Beat It, Billie Jean, Human Nature, PYT. Give me a 5 run better than that.
Hold on. Say that again.
Thriller, Beat It, Billie Jean, Human Nature, PYT. And I could throw Lady in My Life in there too after that.
Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. Rock With You. I Can't.
Ho. Don't Stop Till You Get Enough's better than Thriller?
Mike, hell and fuck yeah. The only reason that Thriller is better is the video. The only reason.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Mike,
I'm not going to disagree with that.
About. Mike, Thriller and Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. Mike, how many people go out and can still dance and roller skate to Don't Stop Till You Get Enough? How many people can go out and dance and rock the Thriller still? Don't Stop Till You Get Enough's a better record.
How many songs is on Off the Wall? Is it 10?
It's 10.
Okay. It's one more than what's on Thriller. All right, we can go song for song real quick. So, what's a better song between Wanna Be Starting Something and Don't Stop Till You Get Enough?
Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. Okay. I think we both agree on that.
All right. And so we got Baby Be Mine and Rock With You, right? That's Mine. Rock With You.
So
we got 2-0, right?
It's 2-0, right? Exactly. Right. It's 2-0.
Hold on, let me write this down.
You might need to because it's about to be 3-0, Mike.
All right. So after that, we got The Girl Is Mine and then
Working Day and Night.
Working Day. I give Working Day and Night over The Girl Is Mine.
Damn right you will.
Now it's about to be a landslide.
3-0. It's not about to be a landslide. Mike, Get It On The Floor is track 4. Where we at?
Thriller's better than that.
Yeah. Mike, Get It On The Floor is my personal favorite song.
I like Get On The Floor. I love that record.
I love that record. That's
you know what I'm saying? Brothers Johnson killed that bass line.
Did.
All right. So we got Beat It next.
I like Off the Wall better than Beat It. And
I do too.
Yep. So it's 4-1, Mike.
4-1. Now we got the real stuff.
No, you don't, Mike.
Billie Jean.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Girlfriend. Go ahead.
Yeah. What? Now we got Human Nature.
She's Out of My Life. You got it.
All right. And we got PYT.
Hold on, Mike. And here's where I take this win because I've always said this. I can't help it's better than PYT, and I'm going to stand on it. And there we go. We're done right here because that's 5.
That's 5.
That's 5. We're done.
I don't know if I can't help it's better than PYT.
How many songs does Thriller have again?
It has 9.
All right.
And then Lady in My Life is next, so that's better than.
It's Mike. It's 5-4.
Yeah.
But it's 5 in favor of Off the Wall, and I Can't Help It is the record because you can't tell me clearly in your mind that PYT is a better record than I Can't Help It. So on the best day, it's a wash.
I think though, but like I said,
hold on. And what's more enjoyable to listen to, Off the Wall or Thriller? Well, then that would make Off the Wall better.
I don't know. I think that depending on what you're doing, right? If you're out there on the scene and going out and getting ready, then maybe Off the Wall.
Mike, that's what I'm saying, Mike. Off the Wall, like you're not thinking about even skipping those records. You know you have days where Thriller comes on. It's like, it's not a Thriller day, Mike. Every time Get On The Floor comes on, because of that bass line, you're like, no. We still letting that play even though that ain't one of the hits. It's Off the Wall.
People say you're tripping. M. Lynette says PYT's better. I mean, I think it's closer than...
I can't help it. Looking out my way.
What beat it again? Beat It's iconic.
Hold on. Rock With You. Hold on. What number is Beat It? Beat It's number 2, right?
No, Beat It's number 5.
Yeah, Off the Wall.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I think Off the Wall. I think the song Off the Wall is a top 5 Michael record. Yeah.
I was about to say Off the Wall, the top 10 Mike record for me.
That's the top 5 for me. But I think that the records on Thriller are just so big and so massive, and it ends up coming. I think it really comes down to that Wanna Be Starting Something. Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. That could go either way.
I don't feel that way. Don't stop till Mike, that's just different. And how about this? This is what I'm talking about. That's the first time people hearing Mike on the solo tip. It's a special moment. It's more of a moment. It's like, oh, that's what he coming with because wasn't nobody coming like that.
Yeah, he was coming with some fire.
He was coming with some fire. Mike, he had bars. Mike, he had bars, right? Yeah. He was coming out. He had bars. Like you know what it is? The verbiage and the lingo, like on Off the Wall, is like on some Supreme Clientele type shit. The way he talking, the way he's spitting his game, Mike. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's special talk. It's that Mike.
Andrew said, "Coop on that Diet Coke."
Ooh, Mike, you want to know what I realized? Diet Coke is from Hello New World off Hell Hath No Fury.
Well, did you see the stat? Did you see the stat? And I think somebody said this in our previous show. That 88 Keys said he made that beat 18 years ago.
Yeah, and whoever said that made that comment about me, don't ever disrespect me like that again either. Like, you won't ever say that shit to my face, fam. So, like, watch your fucking tone when you pull up in here.
Oh, they joking.
No. I don't make jokes about that because like real shit has like happened to me in life. So like that's dudes that be making jokes like that they never dealt with it before, and I don't play those fucking games, so don't do that shit. So, but back to the whole phraseology of it. That came from Hello New World. New World. He said the news called it crack. I called it Diet Coke. Oh, that's why I'm saying when it's like no, he's been this guy from the jump. So I just kind of wanted to contextualize that.
Reggie says, "Is there a Michael versus Michael coming soon? Mike slash Coop."
I was thinking about that when he said that. Could we do like Jackson 5 off the wall Mike versus like Thriller Bad Beyond Mike?
That's possible, man. I'll take either side.
Right, I can take some Jackson 5 off the wall action off the rest of Mike's stuff because I wasn't as big on Mike's stuff after that.
I would have to go, with stuff like Liberian Girl and, it's interesting, man. I feel like.
What's your favorite late Mike record? Like favorite late, like 2000s. What's Mike's best record in the 2000s?
I know a lot of people say Butterflies.
I think it's the same album but wrong song.
I like Butterflies, but I'm trying to think. Off that album, I like Whatever Happens with Santana. Break of Dawn's cool too. He has some cool stuff on Unbreakable.
So Mike, that stretch, Break of Dawn, Heaven Can Wait, Rock My World, Butterflies, that's his last great stretch to me. And I think Heaven Can Wait is actually the gem on there. I think Rodney Jerkins produced that.
I think so.
Yeah. Heaven Can Wait was the last time I was like, oh, that's Mike.
Stranger in Moscow, I know that's on History, but that's pretty tough.
That is tough. That's a little that's 92 though, isn't it? 92? When did History come out?
94.
Yeah, that's 95. Isn't it 95?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 2000s though.
My
that's
camera
why I'm saying.
went out for a second. I think I had like a little shortage. But yeah. How do we even get on this?
I have no idea because it's so easy to go on a Michael Jackson riff apparently now, isn't it? During a hip hop show. Man, that guy is great. We just did a riff.
The greatest. What did you think about that Wiz Khalifa and Juicy J album, Stoner's Night?
It was what you said it was, in a good way. It was right in pocket. It was on point. It was on message. Doing what they do well. That's what I mean when it's like, well, the reason that we're late today is because we had 3 albums to listen to. And because everybody did their job, we had to listen to all 3 albums in full and give it some real sincere run. There haven't been too many days that we've done this podcast in the last couple of years where we've had 3 albums come out on the same day. And you and I have been like, no, all these projects are dope. What did I tell you when I called you? I was like, I need more time because the music is so good. I need to give it all fair listens. And that's why I started with the Saba because I wanted to give the least recognizable artist the most airtime early. And I'm glad I did because I think Saba's album was still the best album that I heard today.
I really like the Juicy J and Wiz Khalifa. What is it? Stoner's Night.
No, I liked it too.
They were having fun. Once again, I mean, I think same thing with Snoop. Very similar, and I know they all run in similar circles. And Wiz was on the Snoop album. But they were having fun, and they were paying tribute musically to their legacy. You know what I'm saying? And this one was very 3 6 Mafia updated. And it's hard to say updated because their sound is still all over the place, right? It's still, you still hear it in Metro Boomin, you still hear it in 21, you still hear it on Drake Records and all that. Yeah. But it's kind of like a part 2 of what Juicy J was doing with that solo album he came out with. What was it? The Hustle Continues. And I liked it. They were just having fun on the record. Nothing deep. The music, I mean, the beats was hard. And it was like some club shit. I liked it.
Do you think it's better than the predecessor, the last album?
I got to listen to it again. But I think it flowed better. It was shorter.
I felt like that was what made it sound potentially better to me is the fact that I felt like it was shorter and flowed better. But I felt like it was the same.
I'm used to, and not to interrupt you, I'm used to hearing Juicy J at his strongest when he's in a group setting. So hearing 3 verses from him, I think it's better with another person. I liked him better, breaking up where it's like 1 verse for him, 1 verse for Wiz, as opposed to 3 Juicy J verses.
is that out of the repetition of listening to him in that format for most of his career?
Probably.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, I liked it. I
What was
mean,
your favorite album of the 3 albums that came out today?
I like the Juicy J one. I mean, the Saba came out last week.
I mean,
Yeah,
right. But we didn't get to cover it. So.
yeah, yeah. We didn't get to cover it, but out of the 3, I think, like you said, the Saba one is, the most exciting because,
That's
this
right.
is somebody making their career.
This song
You had some Saba correlations with Isaiah Rashad, right?
It felt very impressive and next shit level, like the way The House is Burning did for me last year. The last time that I listened to an artist that I knew who existed that made a project that was like beginning to end impressive me was what Isaiah Rashad did last year with The House is Burning. And so I took this album in the same vein, but I think I enjoyed hearing this album even a little bit more than I enjoyed listening to The House is Burning for the first time. But some of that I think might be about the contributions. The House is Burning is more of that solo mission where the star is coming out of him and crafted. But
you had The House is Burning. I think you had that as like the number 3 album of last year.
Yeah, if not for Nas, it would have been the album of the year last year. That's why I'm excited in a certain type of way, because what just happened with him, and this is why I want to talk about it, Mike. It's like, oh, well, he's one Nas pinnacle year away from really having the album of the year in this culture, in my opinion. So how are we going to deal with and unpack these issues?
Well, all right, to kind of piggyback off of that, just from the letter that Kendrick Lamar put out, right, when he's talking about leaving TDE, and then The House is Burning, I think was already out at the time, but it made me feel like Isaiah Rashad is the future of TDE.
Right.
And, for people who don't know, there was a tape of him leaked that, showed sexual exploits that didn't involve women, right? And so this is like the first time this has ever happened to hip hop. Not to say that, he's the only person in hip hop that has that, preference or whatever, but it's the only time that somebody's really been like blasted with the visuals. So, not really sure what that entails for the future of his career.
I'm worried and I'm fascinated, Mike. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I was just going to say, like, we don't know. I mean, I think most people assume that it's going to be a positive for his career numerically because people have seen what's happened with Lil Nas X and all of that. But we don't know, and it'll be interesting to see where this takes it from here.
Well, that's what I'd like to say. Well, Lil Nas X isn't respected in this community the way that Isaiah Rashad is as an MC. Lil Nas X isn't attached to a credible rap entity like TDE the way Isaiah Rashad is. And Lil Nas X damn sure ain't made nothing like The House is Burning in his life on some rap shit.
Yeah.
So these are serious issues that actually need to be addressed in my estimation, and here's why. And I'm going to say this again. In my opinion, if not for Nas having arguably the greatest year of his career, and I think he's the greatest rapper of all time, the guy who is currently being, in these in this media circus because of his sexual preference and orientation. Oh, well, he also just arguably dropped the album of the year last year, in my opinion, if Nas doesn't exist. And so we're in a different place in this culture where I think different things need to start being unpacked. I'm going to speak to something right quick. Like, I'm from the west side of Charlotte. It's where my family's from. It's old school there in terms of the belief systems and the values. A lot of my homies who I've rapped with back in the day that are from Charlotte that taught me what I know have hit me up over the years when I've been in Atlanta, and they've quite frankly just asked me, yo, Coop, how you dealing with the gay shit? How you dealing with the homosexuality? One of my homies, one of my dear friends, the guy who taught me how to rap, is like, yo, Coop, how you surviving in Sodom and Gomorrah? So this is an issue within our community in terms of the respectability and the viability of it, because I got dudes from my hood checking on me like, yo, you ain't fucking with that dumb shit, art. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And some of that is what they don't know and haven't been exposed to in terms of how this world works. But some of that is the permeation of the culture. And so this is a good time and a good place to address these things, because if this is a guy that's capable of making the album of the year, with Nas is having one of the best years of his career, then there's no reason for him to go anywhere. And so I'm fascinated about what's about to happen next. I talked about him more than I talked about any other artist who you would consider to be new last year, didn't I, Mike?
Yeah, you did. You were really high on the album. Like I was,
So I'm fascinated to see
and
what's
I'm high on the album too. Like,
a great album.
I mean, like I said, it's I mean, I don't think that I think that the fans changing or whatever. I think that that sense is a little bit overrated, right? I think that we've all listened to people who've had all kind of preferences as long as the music's good. Like we can even I mean, I know he's never came out like this or anything, but even when Young Thug was dressed in crazy, questionable, and all that, no one cared as long as the music's good, right? Um,
Not true, Mike.
oh, Mad Max has something to say. He said Lil Nas X gets promoted differently than Isaiah Rashad.
That's
LOL, he's a pop star, and that's true. So that's why this is a lot different. This is
that's
really on some Boondocks. What is Gangstalicious type of stuff, right?
right.
That's exactly what this is, and so I think that this is what I hope doesn't happen. I hope that Isaiah Rashad doesn't change the way he's making music,
Right.
and so and that's the thing with Lil Nas X or whatever. When he had Old Town Road, we didn't know any of that stuff, and as soon as that comes out, then it gets extreme, and it's like all that stuff changes. And so I hope that Isaiah Rashad's music consistently stays what it's been, and he evolves from there as he's been doing, and not let any of this stuff change any of that.
But what I'm saying, what I'm saying is about what part of this is fascinating is that if he makes another album like The House is Burning and there's not a KD2 or Magic out there, is he gonna get it? That's what's on the table now, because what I'm saying is with him making an album of that level, where we have his album sectioned into all-time great MCs like Nas and AZ, super credible MCs like Tyler and Sky Zoo, guys who have established themselves like Boldy and Westside and Conway, when we are putting his album above most of these guys and right next to these guys, if he makes an album of this nature again and there's not a KD2 or Magic out there, is he going to get what he deserves as an MC is what my real question
We'll
is.
have to see, and we'll have to see how the music resonates with the people. I think that's the
And
biggest
also
thing.
too, it's like, and this is what I mean. There's a record on The House is Burning, Chad. It's my favorite record on there. It's a shout out to Pimp C. Do you think UGK fans who know how Pimp C was will take that record the same way anymore? You get what I'm saying?
I feel you. It's different.
Yeah, it's different. And so I'm
Yeah.
fascinated by it because there's so much to unpack from it moving forward. I think people are stuck on the visual aids, which you and I haven't seen, and I don't want to see them. And I don't think you do either, because we've just heard enough explanations about what's going on to kind of know what's going on. But that also goes back to something that I was telling you when I used to rap, Mike. Oh, the homies that I was plugged to told me there's the party that dudes and you and me go to, Coop, and then there's a party them other dudes go to. And I ain't gonna say who at them parties, but it's like you got to drop your phone and your ID at those parties about stuff like this not happening to you. Correct.
And honestly, in
live, and I could call names if I wanted to, but let's not. He is not the only one by far. Because
no, and see the thing is though,
you love out here like that. So
there's a reason why, how do I say this? There's a reason why these alleged gatherings happen where they know that they can have this over a person, right? Or whoever can have this over a person, and if this got out, then they know publicly it would be an adverse effect. But see, we're here now, and we're going to have to see if the public does adversely respond to this. But again...
But this might be good for him too, Mike, because here's the flip side to it. There are certain artists that I know for a fact that have stepped out here and have to do work with certain people that they might not even work with anymore about something that they did early on in their career. that's caught on tape that people know about that they don't ever want to get out. And so you're going to see certain people always working with certain people, and you think that it's love, and it's not. It's extortion.
Yeah, I could see that.
Straight up.
Well, see, that's the thing too, though, Coop. If let's just say that an artist like this, who wasn't marketed in this way, can get through a situation like this, then the level of extortion changes.
Yeah, and this is, and Mike, also too, there's some, to quote Kendrick Lamar's song that you love so much, there's some hood politics to this too that needs to be discussed. And here's the hood politics of it. I had a dear friend of mine who is from one of what I like to call the black meccas in America. And I'm not going to shout out which mecca it is because there's only a few black meccas in America.
Right.
Detroit, Chicago, DC, Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably go New Orleans or Houston on a personal level after that. My friend is from one of those places. That is her hometown. I remember her very vividly telling me how her hood works. Some of the toughest guys that you see standing out on the block and serving and living that life and doing all that stuff that you talking, that these rappers talk about, oh Mike, they walk in the house. When they step off the block, they put on a pink tank top, they hop in another dude's lap, and it's as feminine could get, and that part of it is real too. And that's going on in our neighborhoods, and everybody that's really, really been on the block know what I'm talking about. There's shit everywhere, so like, that's why I'm fascinated by it, because he's in a rare position of being the type of rap artist who actually makes the type of rap music that resonates with the rap community on a block level. And I want to see how the block is going to feel about him moving forward, because the block been letting certain dudes sit out here on these corners and serve all the time and walk in the house and do their thing. I wonder if Isaiah Rashad is going to get it to walk in the house and do his thing. And Mike, now the house is really burning.
Way to wrap that up as a true writer. Yeah, now the house is burning.
That's a freestyle too, Mike. That's off the top.
You had that planned the whole time.
I really didn't. I really did just freestyle that. I ain't even opened up my notebook yet.
Listen, man. Like I said, we haven't been here at this place in hip hop before. It'll be interesting to see, where it goes from here. Because even though he is dope on the mic, and I guess I shouldn't say that. Pause. Right. Even though his music is dope and he can rhyme, it's not like he's one of the elite MCs that we view, and I think that, but it's getting to that point, right?
It was trending that way with this album. That's what I'm saying. How is the trend going to go? Because, Mike, if you want to ask me who got next, I would tell you him and Russ based on what I heard last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. We're just going to have to see.
So do he still got next? That's what I'm saying. Because, based on the material, he should have next.
We'll see a lot with this next effort.
Yeah, we are. And I want to see him kind of dig in and double down and move past all of this. It's like, okay, so now we know what we know. You still dope. You still make dope music. You gonna let this affect you?
Well, all right. Let's address
this.
Let's address the elephant in the room here.
Lots to unpack.
Let's just address the elephant in the room here. I think that hip hop draws to young men, period, but specifically young black men, because it oozes with masculinity, and that's a big part of hip hop music, period. And I think that's one of the struggles with female MCs, even early on, when they had to even come across some sort of masculine way to even be heard. We talk about rap voices being strong all the time. We talk about the music blaring in a tough way. And even when you talk about rappers, speaking of the opposite sex and, and coming across masculine in that way too, and just the way that the subject matter comes across. He can't do those things as far as making a song about women and be believable at this point. It would have to change, right?
Right. That's what I mean.
And so, and to be perfectly honest with you, I'm just going to keep it real. Somebody mentioned Frank Ocean in the chat. I mean, that Forrest Gump song, I wasn't listening to that. I wasn't.
Frank Ocean don't have no credibility like this.
But I'm just saying, me personally, as a heterosexual male, I'm just not trying to hear a male rapper talk about another guy. I'm just probably not. I'm just not.
There is that part of it too. That's what I mean. This is so fascinating in terms of where he's at in his career and what he's gonna do. And in a way, it's like I'm kind of sad for him, Mike, because it's like if you've been reading the blurbs the past year about what his reputation was within the TDE camp before he dropped this album, well, he's already been dealing with a lot. But then when you listen to all the things that he's been dealing with, it's like, oh, well, is that tied to some of the issues and some of the struggles too? So it's so much to unpack. But the main thing is, and this is what I mean. So according to hip hop, is about the people, right? I want to hear what the people think about his music next time around and what type of shot he's about to get. That's really going to be key.
And I want to clarify too, like I ain't listening to Lil Kim's records where she's talking about doing this and this and this with the guy either. So I mean, it just doesn't. It's not something that I'm riding around bumping. So.
No, Mike, and you've spoken to the fact that the main reason that it's hard for you to listen to a female MC's album from beginning to end is about the sexual rhetoric and content that you just don't care to hear. Not even if you don't like the MC or not, you just don't care to hear those things wax poetic on record because you can't relate to it, which is another reason why I told you Funkdify and Rhapsody by Eve are probably my two favorite rap albums because it doesn't have those issues.
Unknown Name says that in 2022 his sales will double and his audience will change.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
his audience changing. I don't know if it's a good thing.
I mean, do y'all know who his CEO is? Who started his company? Do you know where this label is coming from? Do you know what their reputation? Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
He's tied to the most street credit. He's tied to the label on the West Coast with the most street credit the last 10 years. Period.
Yeah. He
comes from a place. And I know because you've been to that place, and I've been to that place too, Mike. This is not the type of behavior that is accepted where he's from.
Well, he's from Chattanooga.
Mike, I'm going to say that again. He's from, because you've been there and I've been there, Mike. And this is the type of thing that they accept in their community.
Huh?
Right. So that's why I mean this is all very, very fascinating because I've been to Mike. So I'm going to tell people where I'm at. I can get to Chattanooga an hour from where my house is right now. I can hop in the car and be in Chattanooga in an hour. So... like, I know what it's like right there.
I mean, look, it's going to be interesting.
Hour from the crib. Yeah. Like, it's going to be interesting. Like, I know how to get down to Chat. Mike, I know what it's like when I go in Chattanooga sometimes and go look at a car or go to a gas station or eat at a restaurant.
It's going to be interesting to see. It's I don't want to quote you and say problematic, but it could be.
It's very problematic, Mike. If you wasn't going to say it, I was going to. Very problematic.
All right. So we covered the Super Bowl.
Check.
We covered Kung Fu Kenny not coming out with anything.
Check.
We covered the Tupac halftime hologram and what songs we're probably going to hear. We talked about Snoop and we talked about this Juicy J and Wiz.
Gangsta Party, check.
Who's going to win the Super Bowl Sunday?
My family on my dad's side is from Youngstown, Ohio. I'm a rock with Ohio. We're going to go with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow got some shades of Tom Brady going on. And I think that he's about to shake up the world. He's a winner, Mike. Some guys are just winners. And you can't fade winners. And I want you to understand, this guy got sacked 9 times against the number 1 seed. You couldn't fade him. He's playing against the most talented quarterback of all time, probably not the best, but the most talented quarterback of all time in the toughest environment in the NFL to play, and he can't be faded. You think he's going to be faded by going to LA and playing the Rams? It's like, I'd be afraid if I was the Rams because the adversity that he faced to get here.
He got nothing to lose.
He got nothing to lose. He about to go out here and gunsling on y'all because he's like, nobody expect the Bengals to be in no Super Bowl my second year. You about to let this thing fly. They need to be ready.
Did you get a chance to listen to City of Gods and Worst Day? Because people are asking us if we heard that.
Yeah, I did. Not enough to give it fair critique stuff.
Okay, that's fair. Kanye did his thing on the record, but I'm just not a big fan of 504, and I'm just not.
He has his moments.
Yeah. I'm with you, man. I'm rooting for the Bengals. I hope they can pull it out. Shout out to Joe Burrow. He is the winner. Matt Stafford's UGA. I remember seeing Matt Stafford play when he was in UGA. I went to one of the games. He lost that game. That was against South Carolina.
I'd say probably South Carolina or Tennessee or Alabama or Florida or every other team he lost to because he was always 8-3 or never won nothing. But whatever.
I'm rooting for the Bengals. But it looks like, on paper, it looks like the Rams are set up to win it.
No, I'm going to tell you what the problem is for the Rams. Jalen Ramsey, he's too slow to guard Jamar Chase. And they're going to have to put him on Bigby. And that means Jamar Chase is going to be free. Like, listen to what I'm saying. Jalen Ramsey is not fast enough to stay with Jamar Chase. So the only way that he is going to stay with him is if they let him be physical. Because if Jamar Chase gets free, this game is over. Jalen Ramsey cannot stay with Jamar Chase, like on a speed-to-speed, shifting in and out of breaks level. And so the game for me lines on how Ramsey plays when he lines up with Chase right there. Because Chase is the type, like, I don't know if I've seen anybody since Randy Moss where has a receiver where I'm like, this guy might catch 2 balls and he can change the outcome of this game. Like, if he catches 2, because if he can catch 2 passes the entire game, it changed what's going on with the game. They need to be careful because all that blitz and stuff that the Rams like to do, don't let that dude be out there wide on Ramsey one-on-one. When you do that, he is going to be about 3 yards past Ramsey. It's going to be a touchdown.
I can't wait to see it, man. One last thing before we get up out of here. What do you think about that Brooklyn and Philly trade? James Harden going to the Sixers. And,
So, I mean, before Kevin Durant got hurt, this was probably, to me, his greatest achievement because I'm just going to say this now. The James Harden that we're used to seeing, we're never going to see on a consistent basis ever again. He's 34 years old with a lot of mileage and wear.
Is he 34? I thought he was 32.
No, he's 34.
Oh, man.
A lot of wear and tear and mileage. These hamstrings keep popping up. He's not big on working out in the off season. He is big on partying and smashing your girl and smoking cigars and doing whatever else in the off season. Like one of our favorite players, Charles Barkley. Remember how Charles Barkley's career ended and how we were talking about Charles? Be like, damn, if he just would have taken care of himself in the off season more, he would have been able to hold up. I see that.
He's 32, but he kind of seems to be 34.
When is he 33, Mike?
Yeah, he'll be 33 this year.
Thank you. Okay, so he's 33 this year. Yeah. All right. So he's 33. He came out when? 2006?
No, I don't think it was that long.
2008. 2008.
I think it might have been 8.
8, right? So he's in year what? Point guard, Mike. This ain't KD or LeBron. You see
Ben Simmons is much younger than him. I'll put it that way.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. How about this? So hold on. Let's look at 3 guys right now who have been probably the 3 best point guards for their era. Have you seen how Steph Curry's been shooting the ball the second half of the season? That's age, Mike. You see how Russell Westbrook looks, Mike? That's age,
You
Mike.
called him Westbrook.
You see, for a reason. You see how Harden looks? That's age, Mike. You want to know why you can't see LeBron and KD's age like that? They're 6'9" and 7 feet, Mike.
That's real.
That's
what I
real.
try to tell people, man.
Kevin Durant doesn't have to jump for the next 5 years, and he can go get you 25 points. James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Steph Curry are not going to be able to say that. Steph Curry started off the season averaging the same number of points as Kevin Durant, and each month dropped off a point. He is 6'3". He is 30. He might be the one that's 34.
He might be.
Hold on. Those guys are all those guys are 33, 34, 35 in that order, probably. Harden might be 33. Westbrook might be 34. Curry's 35. They're old.
How old is Curry? I'm looking it up, man.
Curry's older than Durant.
I think he is. He's 33. He'll be 34 next month.
So Curry's the one that's 34. Curry's about to turn 34. Pretty certain Westbrook's already 34. Harden's 33. They've been playing in the NBA on a point guard level, bringing the ball up the court for 10, 12 years. Wear and tear. Wear and tear. So the fact that Brooklyn just got a 6'10" point guard who is not even 30. And
who is not even trying to shoot.
Who is not trying to shoot when you have the best. Mike, I have never seen somebody shoot on every aspect of the court like Kevin Durant. As in, like, wherever you want him to shoot, because he can shoot better than almost anybody else right there except for Steph and Clay at the three-point line. And not far behind them at that. So the fact that this guy is with that team, like, Mike, I want you to understand something. I don't care about Kyrie. They got the other Curry there with KD and Simmons. Here's what that means. They got somebody to guard Giannis to keep KD fresh. Right. People are forgetting that. This is about Giannis. Ben Simmons is officially guarding Giannis now.
Yeah, and he can. Westbrook is 33. He'll be 34 at the end of this year.
These guys are old. So all these guys are 33 going into 34, Mike. That's for point guards, Mike. For point guards that play the way that they play, because they rely on scoring points. Unlike Chris Paul, they're not going to be the same.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid is prone to getting hurt. I would not be surprised, Mike. Listen to what I'm saying. I wouldn't be surprised if Brooklyn won this year, because what they really need is defense and rebounding. And they just got a guy that provides them that and can handle the ball and lead the break. KD almost beat Milwaukee with Harden limping up the court and Kyrie gone.
They got a lot in the deal. Didn't they get
2 first-round picks in the deal? What is Philly thinking? Y'all gave up Curry, Ben Simmons, and gave Brooklyn 2 first-round picks, and gave them a big man. They got another big man for rebounding, too. What's his name?
They got Andre Drummond.
They got Drummond. So let me get this straight.
Drummond can get you 20 rebounds, or at least he used to be able to.
So Brooklyn has Andre Drummond and LaMarcus Aldridge on their front line in the postseason to go with Ben Simmons and Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving part of the time. And Seth Curry, when Kyrie's not there, they can win the title right now. Philly's not going anywhere. Because when is Harden and Embiid delivered for you in the playoffs?
It's a good question, especially Harden.
Hold on. People keep talking about what Ben Simmons did last year against the Hawks. What did Embiid do? Embiid was the best player on that team, not Ben Simmons. Like, Simmons choked. Embiid faded in the fourth quarter of almost every game that mattered.
Again, man, I think we talked about this on the show briefly when it was happening, but I blame Doc for that. I mean, you saw Embiid out there playing in the perimeter. Like, why is he not in the paint? That's on the coach.
He's bigger than Olajuwon.
Yeah, that's on the coach. I saw Embiid like around the circle shooting fadeaways and stuff. Like, nah, that's on the coach, man. You got to get him in the paint.
No. See, you know what that is? That's Kevin Garnett. He's bigger than Kevin Garnett. Get your ass on the block. Yeah. Kevin Garnett's 225. You're 275. Get on the block. You belong on the block. Go on the block.
All right. Well, let's get up out of here, man. And I can't wait to see the Super Bowl halftime. And I'm sure we're going to, do like a recap of that and breakdown of that, because it's going to be a great show.
I think that might be one of our more epic recaps, because it's going to be fascinating to see who does what and why.
And I want to see if the songs that we pick were the ones that are going to be played.
I'm playing Still DRE in my head right now. It got me bouncing. Boom, 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 boom.
All right, y'all. Peace out. Enjoy your weekend and enjoy the Super Bowl, and we're going to holler at y'all.
Peace.